It's 8th fret to the 7th fret.
There we go. We are back, and we just wrapped up a quick guitar lesson with Dave Nesdahl.
I ran and grabbed another beer.
Right on.
And I went and got another vodka and...
Vodka and what now?
Vodka and Mountain Dew.
Interesting.
It's kind of like
Not that I was drinking a Mountain Dew slushie the other day with some vodka in it.
Because you need all that sugar.
Yeah.
Somebody asked a question a little bit ago, guys, and we were talking about it, and I went to show the video, but nobody could see me. So in 2015 on the Jimmy Kimmel show, this is the guitar that Eddie played. It was the Stealth, the real Stealth guitar. And this is the guitar that he played the 2012 tour. It was the number one, because he had a number one on the headstock. And at the last minute, like I said, Chip came and finished this guitar that Eddie had kind of asked for, a black guitar that had been finished in white poorly and started to crack and relic. And this is the guitar that he actually played live in the 2015 tour. And I actually had a question from someone today on my YouTube channel. They said, hey, what guitar is Eddie playing live, or not live, but what guitar is Eddie playing now, like in the studio? I have absolutely no idea what Eddie has live. If he's playing the Stealth, if he's playing the Tour Relic, maybe there's a new Wolfgang, maybe he's playing... nobody has a clue what the guy's playing in the studio right now. I have no idea.
I'm just watching the chat here. So everyone can see all of us, which is nice. And we got Crowbar and Jay Steen joining us as well. Awesome. Aaron says, Will Varela, I've been called worse, possibly by you. Nice. Hey, there's Brian Stewart. Half Ace as well. Awesome. Gravel Stevo, 179.
Stuart, you didn't miss much the first time, other than Rob totally disappeared and his voice was just kind of floating.
Kirkar. It's amazing how many different people are showing up in the second one than the first one.
I'm sure they would have been here on the first one.
Yeah. Petross says, Aaron, your keyboard is louder than his Marshall Stack.
Oh, well, that's because I have a very, very good Rode microphone that is on my phone, so it's picking everything up.
Yes. Nice. My sister says she's still here. Awesome. Okay. Jay Steen says, was just playing his new PRS with his daughter, was holding the chords while she strummed, and my girl complained. Negativity. And yeah, Brian Landreth just asked if Terry could post a link to Rob's channel. So please do. Check it out.
It is haunting how, now that everyone pointed out, Brian Stewart does have a very Willem Dafoe look to him.
Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Exactly. It's like the curtain on...
and Pete Hickson says there was a first one. Yeah, some technical difficulties, Pete. And welcome all the way from Australia.
I'm trying to type like super quiet now.
Oh, it doesn't matter. You can type.
Yeah.
It's all good. We'll just talk over you.
Yeah, that's true. The hell with you people.
Awesome. Yes. If I didn't say it before, thank you, Metalhead Hippie, for the beer fund donation, or bail fund, depending on how you look at it. Welcome back, one and all. So I have a question to the chat. Is there anything that you would like Aaron and I to check out at Summer NAMM? Considering they're the ones that watch any videos that we do, so...
Please say strip clubs. Please say strip clubs. Please say strip clubs.
I don't think I've been in a strip club in 20 years.
I'm actually kind of curious what the Kramer line's going to look like. I mean,
I don't know that they're going to be there because I don't think Gibson is going to be there. It's
They're
not
gonna
the
be
same. There. They are?
Yep.
Well, Rob, I don't know if you know much about Summer NAMM. It's about a 16th of the size of Winter NAMM.
Yeah, I know it's smaller, but I never understood how they decided what vendors are going to be there.
Well, they don't decide. It's more of an audio. It's more of an audio thing than guitars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I was talking with Aljon Go, and if for those who don't know, he's the product manager for Epiphone, Kramer, Steinberger, and he said he's going to be there. So I'd imagine it'll be the same Kramers that were on display at Winter NAMM because they still haven't released them yet. There's been some delay there. They're supposed to be out, as far as I knew. They were going to start rolling them out at the beginning of this month.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you can ask them what's going on with, why they haven't put out the Night Swan and all this new Kramers, the new Kramers they were putting out. What's the holdup?
Exactly. I'd like to know because I get asked all the time. I'm sure you guys do too. It's a weekly thing. When are the new Kramers out?
Oh yeah.
Gravel Stevo 179 says, question, how does one get tickets to NAMM? Well, Summer NAMM is a little different than Winter NAMM in the fact that Summer NAMM, the last day is in fact open to the public. It's at the Nashville Convention Center. You can just walk up. Otherwise, it's a closed event because it is a trade show. So you need a pass, which is obtained through if you're a music retailer or a manufacturer or press. For the most part, that covers most of them. Like Aaron and I are going as, what do they call it? Influencers. We're influencers for Flipside Music in Denver, Colorado.
I looked at it as we're going under the influence. Same thing.
Yeah. Exactly. We're bad influences on each other.
See? Yeah. Plenty of influences.
Hey, Han36 Solo. Good to see you. So, yeah. Brandon, we are doing Butt Cheeks is like must go to the Kiesel booth and get some Justice for Jay. I was planning on swinging by the Kiesel booth. We'll just see how that goes.
I was going to say, I'll be manning the camera. Ben doesn't run very well, so if his plan comes to fruition, something tells me I'll be leaving him behind, but I'll be making the getaway.
Yeah. Yeah. But you'll have the camera, so you'll get away to be able to upload the video. Tell my story, Aaron. Tell my story.
I'll probably need you to toss me the item on the way.
I don't know if you guys saw one of my posts. I'm actually getting one of these Steinbergers. I should have it on Tuesday, but I actually posted a picture of my actual Steinberger on a few Facebook groups yesterday.
Right.
One of them, the heading was now this is the real headless guitar.
It's true. It's totally true.
That was a shot against Kiesel. But.
Yeah.
Well, and something tells me that they could be blind, deaf, and dumb, and their customer service would still be better than Kiesel's.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, you weren't on, Dave. I had a buddy that ordered a guitar years back. I don't remember what it was. So let's just say it was an all mahogany guitar with a translucent black finish. It shows up and the entire thing is maple and it's red. After it taking like 6 weeks longer than it was supposed to. And when he called about it, they told him, no, that's the right guitar. That's mahogany. That's the one you ordered. And he's like, no, it's not. So then they told him, well, just keep it. And he's like, well, are you going to build my guitar? And they go, no, actually, that one's $275 more than the one you ordered. So actually, we're going to need you to pay us the $275.
Wow.
And then I ended up getting on the phone and bitching them out. And next thing you know, they took the guitar back and gave him his entire deposit back.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous.
Wow.
Crowbar says Kiesel has headless management.
It's not too far off.
Yeah.
Crowbar's a pretty funny fucker too.
He is. Absolutely is. When he's not trolling, he's absolutely very funny.
Oh, I didn't know he ever wasn't trolling.
I think he was misinformed that night, Dave. He had joined late, and I think, it was about the facts, right? He's like, because he's scratching his head. We were talking, and he's like, but this show ended at this time, and he's saying this, and I'm like, it was the 80s. If you're lucky to remember that far back, you got one up on me. Although I have been calling him Mick Mars ever since in chats, Dave, just so you know.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I even forgot what that was all about. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember stuff that happened a couple hours ago. I really don't.
Yeah, he's good friends with Steve from Boston, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Ben, I think Will Varela just forced me to accidentally reveal one of the secrets of our trip.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. He says, I can see your trip now. Booze, tattoo parlor, NAMM. Booze, tattoo parlor, NAMM. Food, booze, tattoo parlor, NAMM. Emergency room. Am I close? You're not that far off.
But did you see what I wrote after that?
Not yet. I'm just seeing a welcome CYH Guitars, new name in the chat. He's saying, let's get the thumbs up. Krellbar was asking, what did I troll? You were just setting Steve Rosen right on, apparently, dates. Aaron, I do have a tattoo appointment. Nice. Okay. Well, thanks, dude. That's awesome.
It's because my buddy owns Illinois Tattoo Company down in Bloomington, Illinois. So I was like, well, shit, maybe on the way back we'll do 24 to 57, and then we can stop down there and get tattooed.
Very cool. I'm down.
Are you two going to get matching tattoos?
We are. I want a unicorn with Ben's face on it. And I don't care what he gets. But then it wouldn't be matching. So maybe a unicorn with his own face on it. So
and I too will have a unicorn with my own face on it.
Fantastic.
Yes, CYH Guitars. He says, when you go to NAMM, check out Mythos Pedals. We are actually meeting up with Zach at a couple of places.
Yeah. I talked to Zach again last night.
Talk about exactly. Good to know, Terry. Good to know.
Ben, what are you looking forward to checking out at the show? What's your thing that you're most excited to see?
Me, it's more meeting people. Like there's a couple of builders I'm really interested in meeting, as well as YouTubers / players like RJ Ronquillo. He's a Nashville player, amazing player. I can't wait to meet up with him. He and I are going to be doing some videos together. Rhett Shull, another picker out of Atlanta, amazing player. I can't wait to meet up with him. And just to tie it in with the two of them, Novo guitars, which they both play, they look like Fender offset guitars.
Yep. But
with very high metallic. They relic a lot of them. P90 pickups. Right up my alley.
Tempered Pine, and they use Lawler, and they use Lindy Fralin, which are my two favorite pickup companies. So Novo is going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Krellbar, I know I just called you a troll, but 3/4 of what I say, I'm just kidding, honestly. But I do it with a serious face, and you and everyone else really thinks that I'm always pissed off, but I'm really not. It's a really dry New York sense of humor, and I say things that I mean to be funny, but I say it with a super serious face.
He's from New York.
People don't get me.
He's from New York. These cocksuckers fucking honk at everybody. I mean, it's fucking like a war zone out there.
Dude, no joke. When I told this story, the scariest time I've ever fucking parallel parked in my life, my band was playing at Ground Zero on the East Coast tour, and I parked our van and trailer, and I fucking shit you not, people were swerving to try and hit us.
Yeah, you would think. Well, and it's mostly cab drivers.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, what the fuck? Insurance claim much?
Yeah, they don't care because it's not their car. It's not their car, and they can't speak English anyway.
Fact.
All right, I just got to show. Ow, she's scratching the hell out of me. All right, this is a tiny. Relax. Settle down. This is a little.
We've all seen a cat before, Rob.
Black kitten. She's only a couple of months old. Her name is Araya, and this is Jalen's little cat. And Barney, come here.
Oh, he's got more than one.
Oh, he's got 2 cats and a dog.
Yeah, this is my little dog, and these two are like best buddies now. Like Araya and Barney. Go get each other.
Now, if that isn't worth a thumbs up, folks, there's the thumbnail right there.
Now, Amanda, I know you're gonna love that. Just because I see your selfies you post every day on Facebook, and I always like them because you're a very beautiful lady. So a beautiful lady has to like a cute little kitten, right? Oh, gosh. Must smell lovely over there. It's actually not bad. I keep my place totally immaculate. I clean the cat box like 3 times a day. So, no. It's
really?
Not, yeah.
Damn. I'm going to have you come over here.
Well, dude, it's like,
have you come over here and clean our cat box.
Well, seriously, I mean, it's not. I mean, it's like a toilet. I mean, nobody wants to shit in a toilet that like 15 other people have shit in and not flushed. So I mean, right?
Uh-huh.
It's kitty litter dash talk, folks.
Yeah. Wait,
All right, so what else we got?
Ears.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm just checking through the chat here. Yes, Brian Cote is going to be hanging out at NAMM as well, which is awesome. It's been almost a month since I got to meet up with him. We got to do an event together north of Toronto at Cosmo. They did, which is like our Sweetwater. They had an open house event, which was really cool.
Craig Flowers says that you should introduce the cat as a possum and just keep pretending that you can't tell.
No, I just think that Rob is really good at having cute little black pussy at his house.
Ooh.
Hey, it's not only black. I've had all kinds of different versions.
All right.
Oh, man.
We have a gear question, folks.
Desiree's here with her mouth wide open because she can't hear anything other than what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So she's like, what?
Fantastic. That was
No, he has Jalen's little black kitten there.
That was wonderful.
Let's see. Lawrence Petross asks, favorite neck pickup and why?
All right. We can go around the table on this. Who's going first?
What do you say, Aaron?
Oh, okay. Easy peasy, man. I like the Lawler P90 that is the, what do they call that thing? It's just, I think it's actually just the P90. And then if I go humbucker, I like the Porter Anthems for PAF style pickups.
Okay.
Aaron, let me ask you, what do you think of the Duncan 78? Do you like those?
It's not a neck pickup, though.
I was going to say, and it's a little bit hotter, higher output stuff than I tend to go to. I tend to play more underwound stuff. So, you know.
Okay.
I like the Duncan 59 for a neck pickup.
That's a great pick. Yeah, that's a great pickup. For sure.
What about you, Rob?
I go back and forth. I'm more of a distortion type guy. So I love the Duncan 78. As a matter of fact, in my Star, my VH type early 80 late 79 era Star. This is a Duncan 78.
Rob, I don't think you actually heard the exact question. No, it's neck pickup, not just bridge pickup.
No, I'm getting to that. I guess I kind of like the, for the bridge, I like the Seymour Duncans, and I also like the EV8 stuff. But for the neck, I like the Air Nortons.
Okay.
I really do. I like the Air Nortons. I really love the sound that I get out of my Music Man guitars.
How about you, Dave?
Well, Rob has half my answer. Yes, I was going to say the DiMarzio Air Norton is one of my favorite, and I would also say, and I'm going to plug Sean Christopher, the Pariah Pasadena Black neck pickup would be my second choice.
And I have no problem plugging his stuff because he does help out several friends, and he's sponsoring Caleb with Nerd Halen, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, LPD's in my range. He likes the DiMarzio Eric Johnson, which is about 8K. And that's right where I like it.
Yep. Yeah, you're talking single coils, correct?
He is, yes.
Yeah. As far as single coils, boy,
I like Lindy Fralin for single coils.
Well, Lindy's got a lot of great pickups. Lawler's got a lot of great pickups.
His Imperial, if I'm not doing a PAF, the Lawler Imperial is my favorite bridge humbucker that has a little bit of balls to it.
Here's one that I'm going to say that I also really like. And if you have a single coil guitar, but you want a humbucker sound that still retains the quality of single coils, it's stacked, yes, but I'm going to say that it's going to be the DiMarzio Cruiser.
Oh, I have not played that pickup.
Now, what you need to do is you need to listen to Andy Timmons, because his guitars, all the neck pickups, all the single coils in all of his guitars are Cruiser pickups. But if you listen to his single coil, his neck pickup, because he uses it a lot. It's definitely a humbucker, but you would swear it sounded like a single coil with no noise.
See, now that's impressive, because my biggest problem with coil taps, splitting, stacked humbuckers in general is it's always been obvious that it's not a single coil. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if that pickup is close enough that you're not sitting there going, this is obvious that it's not a single coil, then that's worth its weight in gold.
The only thing that makes it obvious that it's not is it's a double rail. It's not pole pieces.
So aesthetically, you're saying?
Aesthetically, you'd be like, okay, that's a humbucker. But if you listen to it and you didn't know what it was, you would swear it was a single coil with just a little bit more P90-ish, actually.
P90s are my favorite pickups. They're awesome.
But with no noise.
Right.
That's the only thing I wish P90s didn't have.
Well, welcome, Rob 212, Todd Flowers.
Oh, Toddy Flowers. I love that guy.
Oh, let me just scroll up.
Has
here.
anybody played, because I haven't heard them yet, but the clips that I heard were shocking. Has anyone played or been around the Gristlemanster pickups, the active ones that Cook has in his guitars?
Yes, I had Greg Koch trying to give me the hard sell on them last year at Sweetwater. He's like, you can do this. I'm like, no, you can do that. I can just watch and drool, but they are really nice.
That's funny that he would even say that, since he's endorsing the Fluence pickups, the Fishman stuff.
Yeah, those are his Fishman signature set. It's called the Gristlemasters.
Oh, the Gristlemmaster. Okay.
Yeah. They're telling
I like
pickups,
the fact
but
that
they're active.
They're an active pickup, but they use a lithium-ion battery that can hold 300 hours of playing on a charge.
And I think it charges in like 5 minutes from
super fast.
Dead, from dead to full. I think it's like a 5-minute.
And they incorporated the mini USB right near your output jack in, because it still has the dish jack for a Telecaster with the micro USB right there. And then he's got the preamp switcher too, right?
I've always really liked Reverend guitars. I've owned 2 of them, and if I wouldn't have gotten divorced and parted with 16 guitars, I definitely would still have my Sensei RA, because those Railhammer pickups, if you play any type of metal or you're down tuned at all, no joke, Naylor, pardon the pun, nailed, whatever. He nailed those Railhammer pickups where it's the blade for the bass treble, for the bass 3 strings, and then it's the poles for the trebles. Man, dude, they stay super tight.
Yeah, and speaking of Reverend guitars, I was never a fan of that brand until I played the Gil Paris model.
Great model.
Amazing guitar.
See, I like offcuts a lot, and when I played it would have been their 20th anniversary, because I got it in late on them. I've been onto them probably the last 5 or 6 years, but they had the double agent, and they did a 20th anniversary that had a Railhammer in the bridge and a P90 in the neck, and they've got that bass contour, and it's kind of an offset with a roasted maple. That guitar blew my frickin' mind.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Yeah, great stuff.
But I'm with David. When they first started, they were real weird. You remember they were like an acrylic, like a blown acrylic. It wasn't even wood. It was like
a real good Dane Electro.
Exactly.
But what they did have that no one else had was the interchangeable pickups. Like, you can just put a new guard with any pickups in it, and you have a brand new guitar.
Yeah, they had the loaded pick guards.
I like that. I love that. Too. And you could have 3 humbuckers, 2 humbuckers, 3 single coils, 2 P90s, a P90, and 2 humbuckers, whatever you want. And you could put it in your guitar in like 3 minutes. And that's what sold me on that brand.
Yeah.
And just, and they feel great for guitars that are made in Korea or wherever, and wherever they're made. Yeah, just really good guitars. Really.
Yeah, I think it's Korea made, and then they finished them in Toledo.
Correct. Yeah, all the QC setup and everything's done in Toledo. I have a soft spot for Korean guitars. Like, World Manufacturing has become my favorite non-American made factory. Those necks, I don't know, there's something about those necks over there at World. I just freaking love them. Like the old Epiphone, like an old Epiphone Sheridan from the 90s. Those necks are great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Dwight Bailey, Yeah. James Gunn and Quentin James is here.
Oh Christ!
Uh-oh. Knew he
I
was
bet he's
coming.
not wearing pants. Well,
Neither
we're
am I.
going to visit Quentin James on the way down to NAMM, and we're bringing him a lamp and pants. He knows what I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, does he know how to turn on the lamp, or is the tutorial included?
I'll show Sylvester his.
Oh, is it because every time he goes on, on a stream, it's dark in his room?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know
he
what?
showed off his guitar one night, so he just flicked a lighter in front of it. So
I was gonna say, Ben, here's a Quentin James for you. Hey guys, what's going on?
It's just a mood thing. That's all.
Yeah, the fire hazard be damned.
It's like being a radio DJ. You need a mood.
That's true. But don't ever change, Quentin. Don't ever change.
Stay gold, brother.
That's right.
Stay golden, pony boy. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, you're Pony Boy with that haircut.
Yeah, that's true.
That's one of the best one-liners in Step Brothers.
Oh, I know.
Wonderful.
I love it. He's like, "Oh, you're fucking amazing."
She's-
In the urinal.
She pisses in the man urinal.
He gives the bird
know.
bourbon.
God, I love Step Brothers. What a great
Fucking
movie.
dude, I can watch that movie 1,000,000 times and never get sick of it.
Ha ha ha! That was so funny. I fell off my dinosaur.
Yeah.
Will Varela, do you not know what Pony Boy's from? If you don't, it's The Outsiders. It's a movie or a book called The Outsiders, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like a it's a book on gangs,
Set in the Grease era.
yeah, like a Grease type thing, but a little more serious. Not
And
very
thrash
much.
metal, yeah. Stay Golden, Robert Frost
Yeah.
poem used from The Outsiders.
A little less Broadway, a little more, realistic.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, Richie's 335 is named Cherry Valance from that.
There you go.
Rob, Ryan Stewart, I don't know how you want to take this, but he likes your hair. Nice cut, bro.
Thank you. Well, I had freaking bleached blonde hair about 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, and it just wasn't. I don't know. Man.
Well, it wasn't 1993 anymore, Rob.
311 called and said they're not down with that shit, pun intended.
Well, I'm glad you like it now because I think it's, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And I take that in a positive way. I take everything positive.
Yeah, we're just busting your balls.
I know, that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't have any hair, so really I can't say shit about it.
Neither do I.
I got enough for all
I'm
of us.
with you, Dave. I'm with you.
You know what? Hair is just an extra step in the day that I don't need.
I'm with you on that. And the funny thing is like when mine started receding, I think I was like 24. I started bicking my hair automatically, and everyone's like, "Why are you shaving your head? You still have a full head of hair." And I said, "Well, this is the start of a journey where it all leaves my head. So I'm just gonna get rid of it now, so I never have any sorrow that it's not there."
Hey,
Yeah.
I used to shave my head too.
Hey, Dave, do you still manscape like you did last time I saw you? Or?
Why? Is it because you want to hug me from behind again?
No, I want to hug you from the front. I can tell them from behind.
You don't get the front. You don't get the front.
Busted balls in here. Will Varela says, with that haircut, thanks for your service, Rob.
Ooh.
That just means he's in the military.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, Rob, speaking of Step Brothers, so obviously you know the Boats and Hose song, right?
Boats
Everyone
and
does.
hose, boats and hose. Please
Have you
stop.
have you ever seen the extended version of that song?
No, I haven't.
So there's one line that feeds into this manscaping we just said. He says, "I'll be your captain. You can call me Jack Sparrow. Pull down my pants. You could see my bush. Arrow, arrow."
Oh, that's very funny. So would you guys and girls like to see a picture of me and Eddie Van Halen that we took together?
Yes.
Of course.
Holy
There it
shit. It's real. There
No,
he is.
no, it's
Rob
not.
Van Halen.
Yeah, me and Rob.
It's Rob Van Halen. I see him right there.
Yeah, but you got to show me the blonde hair. That was.
I was looking for one. I don't have a picture of you with the blonde hair.
Dave, did you have a fucking black eye in that picture, man?
Well, I don't think so. I might have had not enough sleep that day.
Yeah, apparently Rob's not a cuddler.
Oh, look at that. There is a black. You know
only
what?
thought it
That's
was
not the
Dave.
first time that someone has said that. I don't know where that came from. I honestly don't know where that came from. No, it's in the photo.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I didn't have a black eye. It looks like Sharpie, like someone scrubbed something out. But no, that's very funny because I forgot about that picture. Yeah, no black eye.
All right.
Oh, Brad Miller, welcome. And he says, hey, my favorite Coombs. Says it to my sister. That's usually the case.
Yeah, your sister's a sweetheart, man.
Yes, she is.
Until you piss her off, then something tells me she's like Satan incarnated. But
You do not want to. Yeah, you do not want to piss that woman off.
You know, it's like she teases that like I'm super sweet, but I'll kill you. Like I feel that.
Now, Ben, is she still playing the guitar? Is she still playing her guitar?
I don't know. I don't. It's like I don't push it on her, obviously, but whenever she has a question, she can text or call or what have you. And we got her set up there a couple of months ago, and I know she's been very busy, with the nieces and such. So, and apparently you called it exactly, Aaron. She said bingo.
See, yeah, I mean, I might only have been divorced for 10 months, but I mean, trust me, I got that vibe down.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Are you playing at all, Amanda? That's the question. I'm not sure. So I figured she can answer us.
She said yes. Oh no.
Okay.
No, she didn't say yes. No, I'm sorry. Albus said Amanda Coombs yes. Yep.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nice. So yeah, Dave, you were mentioning Carter's Vintage. We're going there for sure.
You need to get there, and if you become friendly with any of the staff that works there, ask and see if they have any vintage like 58, 59, or 60 Les Pauls that you can take a look at. They would be in the back room. They won't be on display.
Right.
And if you tell them that you're a YouTuber and you have a show on gear, I think they might be able to tell you about it or show you stuff.
They almost
they might even put it in your hands.
I was gonna say they've had a 59 there 2 of the last 3 times that I've gone down there.
Yeah, especially because Joe Bonamassa buys every one that he sees, which is not a bad thing. Thank God, because at least they're going to get played when he buys.
I sold Bonamassa a 1963 Gibson SG probably 5-6 months ago. And it's funny because I took it in. We paid the customer $15 for it, sold it to Joe for $22, and literally his people are set up. I work at Guitar Center, so
I've worked there for 10 years. I know that. I know.
So then his people, like before shit even hits the internet, Vintage goes through his people and says, "This is what we've got." Sends over the pictures, whatnot, and then before it even hits the public, he gets a shot at it.
Yeah, and as long as the price is fair, he will not haggle with you. He'll just say, "Yep, I'll take it."
Well, he took it at the 22, and 22 was definitely fair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that thing was mint. We had pictures of the guy playing it in a newspaper fucking in 74. I mean, it was incredible.
Yeah, cool.
And it looks like my sister is playing. That's good to know. She says, I sure am. Not well, though. Not real stuff. Hey, it's all a start.
It's yeah, absolutely. And Soda Pop, I'm feeling very good. Thank you very much. I have good days and bad days, but mostly good days.
Jay Steen, you want to hear the Dutchman pedal? Well, there will be a video out this week if the mail arrives. I will post a video on it the day I receive it because I've been promising a video for 2 weeks on it.
I'm excited because if Ben gets here, depending on what time Ben and I get back from the airport on Tuesday, I might stop by the studio and throw Los Dutchmen into my rig and see how it sounds.
And any other pedals you want me to bring?
Now,
yes.
what is that? What is that a pedal of? What is it?
That's a Timmy and a Plexi.
Oh, you would tell me about that. Now, what color did you get?
It's like a candy apple red with gold leaf writing.
Wow.
Is that something that you can show us now, or are you not allowed to?
Nope. I have a photo.
Yeah, Dave, they accidentally sent his shit to England.
We were just talking about that. See, I told you I forget really quick what's been said. I forget.
It's all good, man. I'm here to remind you.
Thank you.
Here's the Lost Dutchman. Let's see.
Oh, that's pretty pedal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's so pretty.
I just wish it would focus.
I'll
It
have to
would be a
look.
lot nicer.
I tell you what, push it as close as you can and pull back. That's a John Mancuda.
Yeah. Here, let me just move the screen out of the way a touch. There we go.
There it is. There it
Nice.
is. That's nice pedal. Good looking. If it sounds half as good as it looks, it's a great pedal.
You know what I
I've
was
got the 87 up here, which is like a JCM, and a 74 right there, which is your master volume Marshall meets a Plexi.
Very cool.
And they are insanely good pedals, like high gain and still retaining note definition. I don't know how he does it.
His name is Howie.
Yeah, a lot of them, dots on them.
You know what
I
I,
love it.
really was.
I don't know how he does it.
You
I was
know,
actually checking out the
airplane.
What do you call it? It's well, I think it's called the electro
Harmonics.
harmonics micro thing, the thing that Eddie Van Halen recorded Sunday afternoon in the park with. That little cheap little keyboard thing. They make a pedal of that.
Oh, it's a Moog. Isn't that a mini Moog?
No,
Is he talking the Pog?
No, it's hold on. It is. I just found it earlier.
I did hear rumor that Behringer is remaking the keyboard that Eddie used back in the day.
Well, he used a lot of different ones. The main one from like the 1984 era was an Oberheim, an OB8.
Maybe that's the one they're doing.
And then he was using a Oberheim Matrix 10.
Okay.
By the time the 84 tour came out, I believe it was the Matrix 10, and he also used that on Why Can't This Be Love for 5150.
I'm going to channel Johnny Beane for a second. Steve Carmichael. Hey, man.
He loves that name.
That he does.
Sunday afternoon in the park, Eddie used the Electro Harmonix Micro Synthesizer.
Okay.
Oh, he's the micro synth.
And Wolfgang actually on Eddie's son, Wolfgang did a thing on Instagram, a little thing of that. But they make a pedal of that, the Electro Harmonix Micro Synthesizer. It's a guitar pedal. It looks like it's the same thing, but it's not a little keyboardy type thing. It's actually
Is it the one with the sliders? Because I know the bass synth that's black with like purple writing.
Yeah,
and
there's two versions, right? Yeah.
There's a green and black, and then a purple and black.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's the purple and black is guitar, and the green one's the bass. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've played them both. Actually, I think
Are they easy to play, Aaron? Or
Yeah, I know. Like we've got one in the studio that we use for overdubs and shit if we want. But I mean, yeah, they're cool. I mean, they're kind of
right here.
Yeah, that's the one that we have, the micro synth. So Korn uses that. Korn uses that.
Is that stuff
Steve Luther says another great show. I'm glad you're enjoying it. The Dog Post looking for a few accounts that were blocked here last week. All the jokesters that showed up on Johnny's Late Show last Saturday with all the spoof names showed up here this week. I think on Wednesday night.
Yeah, that was funny because you could tell it was all like the same person because it was like they'd jump in, say something asinine, you'd block them. A new one would say the exact same thing, you'd block them, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, it's one guy with nothing to do, nothing better to do.
I mean, how fucking lame do you got to be to have that many goddamn accounts?
I know. I know you got to be a total freaking loser with nothing better to do than rain on everybody else's stuff.
Yeah, go out and play guitar, have fun. Meet a girl.
I would just say go out and get hit by a bus.
That's an option too.
Running into a knife is always an option.
Or a razor blade.
Nice. We got 66 people watching.
Hey, do you guys like Sustain?
Why do you have a Sustainiac in there?
It's a Fernandez.
I love the Fernandez. So the Fernandez Vertigo, the old Fernandez Vertigos with the Sustainiac in the neck, those are fucking killer offsets.
Yeah.
Fabulous Disaster is asking which guitar you have there, Rob.
See that green Wolfgang right there where I'm pointing? That one there also has the same one that Rob has in his.
This is a Eddie Van Halen PV Wolfgang Tobacco Deluxe Special that is made to be a combination of. It's kind of like the one that Eddie played in the 04 tour. It's got this big stupid rod on it, and it also has a Fernandez sustainer in the bridge, and it's a really, really cool guitar. It's got the 9-volt battery compartment in the back and the whole sustainer thing.
Rob, show me that stupid fucking like dog leash hook on there again.
Oh, this thing?
What the fuck? To keep the cord away from your body, is that?
So back in those days, Eddie was not in his right mind, so he wasn't playing. He wasn't playing cordless unit for a period of time. So what he decided he was going to do was stick this big, massive, long eye bolt in there to kind of keep the cord away, so he wasn't tripping on it. The interesting thing is he still tripped on it all the time, and it was always coming disconnected. So it really did nothing other than just become a big kind of an eyesore.
And back then he was still jumping as well, so he didn't want to get it caught up in his legs when he was jumping.
Right.
Hey, Tone Bolts, good to see you. Yeah, Fabulous Disaster is like, oh, cool. You can hang your wet socks on it.
So here's a fun random question. Eddie in his heyday drinking or Clapton in his heydays drinking?
Well, it's hard to.
They were both pretty damn good.
Well, here's the deal.
Yeah, I agree.
Clapton really didn't get bad until like with his drinking and drugging until his first solo record. When he was in Cream, yeah, he'd drink some, but he was not like out of his mind, and that was probably his best playing in Cream. Absolutely. Okay. Blind Faith, it started there, and then by the time he got to his first record, he was a mess. Like right. he even says that he would black out and he didn't remember half of those years.
What was the one that was done? So you remember when he rented the train and they actually like played shows and recorded on the fucking train, and it just drove around from city to city.
Yeah, I don't remember what record that was, but
I watched that documentary, and it's like the definition of like eyes in the back of the head, but still on your feet.
Yeah, absolutely. He and the same with Eddie. I mean, he probably wasn't horrible until I'd say about 82. Like the first couple records, he was still pretty much a choir boy. Yeah, he drank, but there was really not much drugging going on.
Gotcha.
Right. But by Diver Down, by 82, he was a pro at cocaine. He was a pro.
Yeah. Somebody had asked in the chat on your show on Friday night, like, how come all the Van Halen stuff was played much faster in the Roth era, and then by the time he was playing with Wolfgang, why it had slowed down? And I'm like, cocaine?
Right. That, and I also think that it has a lot to do with Alex. When Alex was drinking and drugging, right? He and Sammy said this the best. He was a better drummer.
Yeah.
When he was sloppier when he was drinking and drugging, but he was more. He was.
Probably more energy, right?
There was more energy, and it was very off the cuff. Everything was off the cuff.
Yeah.
When he became sober, he was a better drummer as far as keeping time, but he was more boring.
Right.
So I think in the later years, because of him, everything is more album speed instead of faster and like most live stuff is.
Right.
Well, I mean, Eddie Van Halen said himself when he was asked about Clapton, when did you like Clapton the most? And he said like they said he lost interest around Blind Faith. But Eddie basically said on Howard Stern, when he was a heroin addict, he was awesome. That's what he said exactly.
Yeah, I just think that it's crazy. There definitely is a parallel between, like Dave was saying, yeah, he was sloppier, on drums when he was all hopped up, but there was an intensity to that performance then, because you're borderline manic at that point. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's interesting how far sideways you can go and still make something that's kick ass.
It's amazing too, and you're so right, Aaron. I don't know if it's just the age or what it is, but for some reason, and I'm certainly not promoting alcohol or drugs. I'm not doing that, but it's so fascinating. These guys that just, they're artists, and I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I don't have.
Well, yeah, it was more the norm back then than the exception where it is today. And I think, unfortunately, it starts out as something to fill time on the road on those 10-hour bus rides and different town every night. And then it gets to be, quote unquote, normal. And then you come off the road after 9 months and you got to dry out, right?
It also helps when you don't get along with your bandmates. It helps, you get along with them because
Aerosmith has talked about that repeatedly, because Joe and fucking Steve don't get along. Well, I guess I just saw them on stage during a Hollywood Vampire show, which I thought was weird because, Aerosmith, the last thing I had heard were they were riding in separate buses and they couldn't even be around each other. They just played the show and then went to their buses. But then Tyler came up and did a song with Hollywood Vampire. So I was like, have we finally hit that age where everyone's matured enough that they get past that? I don't know. But, I mean, you're absolutely right. When you don't like your fucking band members and you're bored out of your mind, I mean, it's a good time filler.
Yeah. Well, it's like the old saying, you spend so much time with these people in a very small, cramped quarters, 85 to 90% of the time when you're on the road, and it's very hard to have any privacy. And after a while, the littlest thing annoys you. Yeah. And then once you're annoyed, you get pissed off. And then once you're pissed off, you hate someone.
Yeah.
And it's it happens with family. You have one bathroom in the house, and then all of a sudden you hate your girlfriend. You hate your boyfriend. It's like this. Where do you go for privacy? Well, and when you're on the road, and when you're a band like Aerosmith that's on the road for 10 months to a year and a half, and you're not really flying places. I mean, yeah, you're flying to countries, but once you get into a country, you're in a small box driving everywhere together, and then you're on stage, and then you got to do press, and you got to be with each other all that time. It gets to be annoying.
Yeah. Well, and you got to put on a happy face for the press, and everything's wonderful. Tonight's going to be the best show yet. And, it's like, I don't know about you guys. I have a hard enough time sleeping in a hotel room because it's not your own bed. Try sleeping on a moving bus half the time. Yeah. Like you say, and like Lawrence said, self-medication, or, you're never sleeping right. So you're not eating right. You're going to be sore all the time. Like I know, like Eddie, a lot of it was his hip. When his hip started bugging him, they had the tour to do, and he had to get through those shows.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at back, like what you guys just talking about. Look at, we're talking about not getting along with your bandmates and things like that, and, drugs and stuff like that. I mean, look how much cocaine was, and drugs and alcohol was around in the fair warning era. Eddie was not getting along with Dave. He was sneaking into the studio at 4:00 in the morning. And, and some of the most incredible riffage and mean and angry, I mean, the darkest, most evil, sadistic, mean, awesome tones of Fair Warning came in all that freaking chaos and stuff. And then you look at when Hagar comes in the band, like him or not, all of a sudden now they're playing this happy music. You know, they're playing 5150 and Good Enough, and they're doing keyboard stuff like Dreams and Love Walks In, and the whole mood changed. You know, so I think happiness and getting along with people brings out an element of great music, but also, you know, button heads and not getting along and, you know, whatever, that brings out another type of music, you know, and Van Halen's just a perfect example of that.
Well, and I've noticed when you have one person in the band that goes straight and the other dudes are still partying like they did when that dude was partying, that seems to be just a recipe for disaster.
Right.
You know, you go and look at Motley Crue, you know, when Vince Neil all of a sudden got straight and everyone else is shooting up and snorting. I mean, Jesus Christ, he couldn't hate them fast enough.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I got to tell you this. While we were sitting here talking, I just went and bought this. I just bought the
Micro synth
electro harmonist. So, would you explain to me a little bit about this, Aaron? It's a guitar pedal, correct?
Correct. So basically, what those sliders are doing is they're letting you adjust the different frequencies of a synth. So like your guitar, like there's a filter, I think, on one side, and the other side is, I don't know, maybe the actual frequencies and tones, but
yeah, it's got voice mix on one side, then filter sweep on the
next. So look at the filter is the actual, what it says, a filter, and then the voicing is more like the frequencies, the tones of those frequencies. So obviously if you cut everything on the low end, then you're not getting the low end of a synth, you're getting more of the mids and upper. But
so can you just hit a chord?
Well, that's what I was about to say. It's not great for tracking chords. It's not a very good polyrhythmic thing. So the POG is a polyoctave generator, as we're like the micro synth is a little more of a monophonic type thing. It does great when you're doing single note stuff. If you end up, like I told you, Korn uses it. Well, Korn has, 7-string guitars tuned to whatever the fuck they're tuned to.
Yeah.
They'll use it a lot because they want to play these big chords, but it tracks like shit. But if they put the bass synth or the synthesizer on it and play it as single notes, it sounds like a chord.
Gotcha.
Yes, unfortunately, Rob, with your pretty clean living lifestyle, you're not going to take half the advantage of that pedal that Aaron and I can.
Yeah.
Fact.
Great for getting into that weird, trippy Pink Floydy stuff. Richie just picked up a synth pedal, and he's all about doing the synth stuff now.
I have a micro pog on my board, and then in the studio we have, because our practice space is a home studio that my drummer's had for 15 years or so, and he's been recording bands forever. So we've got pedals upon pedals, and that's one of the ones that we have there. So like I said, if we're doing overdubs and it's like, what do we want to use to kind of fill this out? That's, none of us play keyboard, so it's a hell of a lot easier to throw a synth on a guitar or a bass and play that way.
Well, I just kind of got it because I was looking, I was always kind of looking to get that sound of the Sunday afternoon in the park, all that weird, all that stuff. And I checked out, I'm like, what did Eddie use? And he used this cheap little, that's what it is, except it was in a keyboard fashion. So I was like, oh, that should be kind of cool just to make some cool sounds and just dick around.
You could probably buy one of them really cheap, Rob.
The actual keyboard? Yeah, I guarantee it.
Because I think it's just a controller. I don't think it's a real keyboard.
Yeah.
It's like
with that pedal, all you need is a controller, and it's, all you need is one that's size.
Yeah. It'll be kind of fun. I'll check it out, see what's going on with it. But
oh, you'll have fun with it regardless, because you'll come up with stuff that you're just like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Pedals and noise making are my favorite thing in the world. Like I've had, last count, it was like 153 or 158 pedals in the last year.
That's awesome, man.
Nice.
I mean, it gets pretty ridiculous over here. Pedals is, I mean, it's no joke. It is the best way to get out of a writing rut. If you find yourself playing the same type of shit, all of a sudden just, throw on some reverb, some delays, some octaves, a fuzz, whatever, combine them. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, that sounds like this. And then you strip them away and you start playing what you heard on the guitar. And then, I mean, it just opens up avenues you never would have thought of.
Is that the kind of stuff that like Tom Morello uses, like for all his crazy?
He uses a Digitech Whammy, which
Yep.
has a detune function on it, and then it lets you go, you know, say you want to pitch down a fifth, you can do all the actual increments that would be chromatically correct, and then it has an actual wah built into it too, so you can have your guitar pitch down, say a full step, and then all of a sudden when you step on the wah pedal, it ranks you up, say a full step over standard.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah, that's how Aaron and I first bonded, was over pedal talk.
yeah,
That's cool.
well, I mean, perfect example of how bad it got for me for a while. Behind me is the world's largest fucking pedal board. It doesn't have anything on it currently, but this would be a 4 fucking foot pedal board.
Wow, that's cool as hell, man.
Which used to have 72 pedals on it at once. That was ridiculous.
My God, 72.
Well, you know, when you've got loop switchers, man, you put them to use.
And I used to get made fun of when I had 10 pedals on a board.
Dude,
You
it was
need,
like
you need all that stuff?
dude, no joke. Here's a funny story for you, Dave. So I bought the board with the flight case and everything, and I had all these pedals, and I'd been doing demos for like Amazon for a couple of years back in the day, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna load this fucking board up. So I loaded it up, and all of a sudden I'm like,
How'd you carry it?
73 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck this.
Like carrying
that's
a
why you
twin.
don't see it. That's why I don't even have any pedals on it. It literally sits there empty, and then I've got 2 smaller boards. I think I run about 13 pedals now, and that's my live setup. It's 2 smaller boards that, you know, chain together left and right of the mic so that I can still sing while I'm playing.
Cool.
Yeah, that's what Richie did with our last band. He had his, you know, all of his dirt on one board, essentially, in his wah and stuff. Everything went into the front of the amp, and then he had a separate board for all of his effects loop stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's similar to that. Mine's more like the stuff that has to go through the switchers on the left board. Like when I'm doing combinations of things, it's on the left board. Things that are either always on or that I kick on and off frequently are on the right board because I'm right-footed.
Right.
Nice. Lawrence Petross says the new combustible lemons. He did a limited run. They're shipping tomorrow. Awesome.
I'll show you a picture of my board. This is stripped down. This is what I use when I gig. Let's see if I can get that.
Let's see if I can tell everything that's on there. Okay, I see an EP booster. I see an SL. I definitely see a Lex. I see a Flashback 2, which I use. I see a Polytune 3. I can't tell what the distortion is. It just says distortion something.
It's a ZVEX Distortron.
Oh, Zachary Vex. What a good fucking pedal builder.
Who just had a birthday, I believe, last week.
Yep, you got the trem in there. I forget what that thing's called, but I know that's
the Dr. Scientist hand-wound tremolescence.
I'll tell you what,
and it sounds amazing.
That is a guy that I've been talking to a lot over the last, 6 months or whatnot, leading up to when he released the Atmosphere, which is his like ridiculous reverb. If you've never seen that thing, it's incredible. That came out probably like 3 months ago, but I mean, yeah, Dr. Scientist, Canadian, no less.
That's not his fault.
I was waiting. We had to have a Canada burn, Dave.
Oh, come on.
I know.
It's not Canada. It's Canada.
Canada.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's
And
just like I
just
recently found out, what was it? Ben, you and I were talking about this. It's not capo because it's an Italian word. It's capo.
It's capo.
Capo, that's right.
In case
capo.
in case you're in the mob, it's capo.
Yeah.
Capo.
And if you say it really Italian, it's capo. And it's like,
Capo.
what? And
Lawrence says Dr. Scientist is a great
years.
dude and killer builder.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Lawrence, but you would know because you can smell your own, brother.
Well, the only problem I have with Dr. Scientist, especially with the tremolescence, is I don't know why he went from hand-wound to PC board. And it just, I mean, hand-wired.
Yeah.
PC
Speed
board.
of production.
Okay. But the box is also bigger as well now. You know,
Right.
That was a smaller box. The 5-knob, there was a 3-knob tremolescence and a 5-knob.
Well, that doesn't make too much sense because once you go surface mount, the parts get smaller.
Yeah, and now he's got a 6-knob, but the box is bigger. And it just boggles my mind. It's like, I don't want a bigger box. Who wants a bigger box?
Nobody wants to throw their toothpick in the Grand Canyon. Come on.
Right. It just doesn't feel right. You know?
No.
Well, Lawrence says, as a builder, he put volume and ease of build. Yeah, I'd imagine as they got more popular, he's trying to figure out, instead of taking 2 hours, make it an hour and a half, whatever.
I get it. I get that. But, man, it's just...
And apparently, Will says we got 73 people watching. Nice. Not too shabby for the last.
I'll tell you what, though, man. This is easily the best, I don't know, 5-year, 10-year run or whatever of pedals I've ever fucking seen. Like, I'm only 36, so I'm the young guy here, but I'm gonna be 37. But
hey, bro,
my God, I mean, growing up, it was like, how do you want your DOD or your Boss or your Digitech?
Right.
You know what I mean? And now it's like, God, there are so many good pedals. I have pedals from UK builders that I've become friends with that make some of the best goddamn fuzzes and drives I've ever heard in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention the stuff they're putting out, like, you know, I mean, they're putting out Echoplex pedals and, you know,
Exactly.
like, all this stuff that, you know, was the coolest shit back in the 70s. They're making remakes of that stuff, and you know, the Friedman stuff, and I mean, it's just like I think you nailed it on the head, Aaron. I mean, pedals over the last 10 years are like, holy crap. I mean,
And whoever would have thought? So when I think digital growing up, I think, does anybody remember that shitty plastic Zoom 505?
yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
I had one, and A4 was the metal distortion. It was just so bad. Now you go and you throw on anything by Strymon, and it's like, you'd be hard pressed to even, if somebody was in a blind test, they wouldn't even know that that's digital.
there you go, Aaron. One of the original Zoom units, the 1010.
Oh, Christ.
I think I bought this in 1996.
You bought it in 96 for $50, and now it's worth $6.
I know.
And now it sits on a shelf.
You
Well-
pay someone $6 to take it, you know.
Exactly.
Aaron, also, you can do that. You can say all that about, solid state amplifiers.
That's true.
Because I'll tell you, 5 or 6 years ago, you wouldn't catch me playing a solid state amplifier. But I mean, listen to this.
I was going to ask you what amp you were playing through because it sounds hairy.
THR 10X Yamaha.
And that's
Yeah,
exactly the same thing I'm playing through, because Dave, I mean,
Sounds like a real amp.
Well, and that's the thing is like, okay, perfect example.
Incredible.
So at Guitar Center, you see it all the time. People selling shit. Anybody drops, there are brands that have recovered and have progressed, but anybody drops off anything by Crate, nobody wants to touch it with a 10-foot pole, and it's worth pennies on the dollar.
Right.
Now, the actual tube amps that Crate made in St. Louis, Missouri are fucking fantastic.
Yeah, they're great. I mean, they sound good.
Nobody will touch them because when they think Crate, they think shitty 90 solid state.
right.
The solid state stuff that you're talking about that's out today, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's fucking great. I mean, I never thought I'd see a day where, like a Boss Katana there are people touring with Boss Katanas, little digital amps, and just miking them up, and they don't sound bad. You're not sitting there going, "Oh, this is the worst amp in the history of man."
Right. I still wouldn't gig with a solid
No, me
state
neither.
amp.
To me, that's an at-home practice, ease of use.
Right.
Didn't cost me a lot of money.
I don't know if you can see that behind me, but that's my rig.
You got an EVH 212. What's the head on top?
It's actually do you see the EVH head right here?
Yeah, that one.
That's the head that's running those 3 cabinets.
Oh,
And then
goddamn.
the middle head, what the EVH head is running the dry cabinet in the middle, and that tube head, which is it's like a plexi style head that a buddy of mine from Rock and Roll Amps makes.
Okay.
It's a 100-watt tube amp that's very much plexi. It's very much like a Friedman BE 100.
Gotcha.
Same type of thing, same sound. But that's just running the 2 affected cabinets, so I have a wet, dry, wet.
Oh,
It's
beautiful.
the same thing I got right here. I got an EVH 50-watt head with a cab. I got a PV 5150 combo on each side. Those are the wet. I'm running it. Here's my pedal board. So my 50-watt head is what's dry. It's powering both of these combos which are getting a detune sound from the harmonist. Then I got an eventide time factor for 2 separate delays. So I got a freaking kick-ass freaking wet rig here. But I practice with this little freaking Yamaha thing because it just sounds incredible.
Absolutely. I haven't turned my rig on in months since I've gotten this little Yamaha.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The convenience and the fact that they don't sound like ass and they don't cost much still. I mean, you really can't beat it. You see more people coming in. I mean, you see more people coming in. Probably the top selling amp in my store for the last year has been the Fender GT20, which has, I mean, it's got Bluetooth capability. So, I mean, say you want to play along to something, you go into your phone, you put it in, it comes in, and you start playing along with it.
That's insane. I know.
You know, you're not going to tour with that, like to Dave's point. You're not taking that out and gigging. But when you're sitting at home and you want to play along to something, I mean,
yeah, it's a great house amp. Great little house amp.
Yeah. How do you
beat that? You don't beat it because, I mean, you can't, as much as I say I can turn that big rig on and have it set at bedroom volume, which I can, it's not the same bedroom volume as me plugging this thing in at super duper low volumes and have it sound like a real rig.
Yeah,
right. Exactly.
Hey, Ben, I gotta bounce. I gotta take this dog out. So.
Alrighty, Rob. Well, thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. Everyone should check out Rob's channel. He does some great stuff, and he knows his gear, especially on those striped things.
It's all thanks to you guys, but I just want to say thank you for having me on. But Aaron, it's great to meet you, but I hope to see you soon for sure.
Yeah, you too, man.
Yeah. Dave, I'll talk to you soon, and Ben, I will talk to you soon as well.
I'll see you on Saturday, Rob.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Good.
Guys. I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you.
Anytime, man.
Chat soon.
Bye.
Got a few people that says 75 watching. Let's see if we can hit 50 thumbs ups. Well, we're not going to go Johnny mode where he and Mancuda just keep live until they hit their target.
No, and I can't stay on very much longer either.
Yeah, I think we'll go another 15 minutes or so. Let's see here. And Smashed All Day is having a great time. Good, good. And anyone that's new, please subscribe. We're trying to hit 1,250 subscribers by Summer NAMM, so I've got a little over 2 weeks to do it.
Well, to Dave's point, the funny thing is, one of my favorite clean sounds is the old Roland Jazz choruses.
It's the best clean sound. It's what everyone.
Incredible.
It's what everyone tries to sound like. Every amp wants to sound like.
You know, if I'm in the studio and I have an option and my cleans could go through a Roland Jazz chorus and then everything else could pump through a tube amp, that's heaven.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Especially with single coils. It sounds the best in single coils.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they nailed that right off the bat, and everyone's trying to emulate it since. I will say, and I have gigged with my Marshall head, which is in fact solid state, but that's a 86 MOSFET 100 head, so it sounds very JCM-esque.
Yeah, those things sounded great. They always did. I had a buddy that had 2 of them. He would play with both amps on. It was louder than you could ever believe, and it sounded great.
Well, FETs are your most tube-like, diode that you can use, so it makes sense that it would feel and sound the part. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, Phil Bradshaw. Good to see you. I got to meet Phil at Cosmo Music Fest as well. Says happy Canada Day weekend, folks. Soda Pop's asking what Rob's channel is. Terry, can you look up Rob's channel? Rob's EVH gear and fitness
and firearms.
That's it. So if you could look it up and post it in the chat for me, Terry, I'd greatly appreciate it.
In fact, I think, speaking of FETs, I think when I was talking to LPD when he was on last Sunday with you, Ben, I was saying it's a backup drive for me now that I have the Hudson Broadcast, but I have the Ibanez JD9, and that's basically a tube screamer with JFETs instead. And it's fantastic, especially because of the touch sensitivity. And if I'm correct, Lauren to let us know, he's got something that he's cooking up, I think, that's based around some FETs.
Will Varela says, you see, I'm an old guitar player. Without you guys in the chat, I would never have seen or learned anything about these pedals. All you guys rock, even Aaron.
Well, Will, we're still divorced, but I'll let it pass.
And that's why we love Will Varela right there.
By the way, Aaron, that's my middle name, spelled with 2 A's.
Fantastic. You know how many people in the world fuck that up? Everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a pirate, RN, 2 R's and 1 A. I've been hell, I had a girlfriend for my birthday. She gave me a fucking gift, a teddy bear, and it said AROON. I said, who the fuck's a rune?
And those people, they'd say Aaron, ERIN.
Oh, that's the worst.
Oh, is your name Aaron? No, it's Aaron. That's what I said. No, it's not what you said.
No, you tried to paint me a chick. I would be a hideous looking chick, man. Come on.
And there you go, Aaron. Lawrence says this is all JFET.
Oh, there we go.
And
thank you, Lawrence.
He told me this runs at, I believe, 24 volts internally.
Holy shit. So tons of headroom.
Soda Pop, that was the funniest thing. Aaron.
Arun.
No, that's from it's
I remember the substitute teacher.
Man, that was so funny.
You done messed up, Aaron. Yeah, I use Aaron quite a bit. Yeah, Aaron I get called a lot. Growing up, my dad always called me Airhead, which I thought was stupid, but whatever, he's old.
Yeah, well, you'll know I'm in a good place mentally when I just start calling you Aaron.
That's right. My name is Aaron. I have a brother. His name is Moron.
Nicely done. Play on Ron is always good.
Yep. Nice. So, yeah, folks, if you have any other questions in the chat here, definitely ask away. We'll go for a bit longer here.
I got enough time to run for a beer?
You got enough time to run for a beer, buddy.
Beer ski.
Yeah, that's it, Thrash. Yeah. What's up, Greg? You got knocked the fuck out from the Friday movies. Great.
Yep.
Okay, good. Yeah, good luck, Will. He says, wish me luck. I start jury duty tomorrow.
Oh, I hate that.
Brian Stewart said, invoice received and paid. I'm not waiting for Ben to review this one. I'm guessing he probably got a combustible lemons pedal.
Oh.
Which I'm really curious to check out, hear how that sounds. Yeah, Lawrence does a lot of drive pedals. Everything's analog, Dave. No digital stuff. So he doesn't do anything really modulation or anything like that, but great drive and boost pedals. He sent me this one up here. It's called the Saguaro. It's a 26 decibel boost with a Klon circuit in it as well. So it's a dirty boost.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, it was like Frank's hot sauce. As soon as I got it, it went on my board as my lead boost. So I put that shit on everything.
Very good.
And very dynamic because it will dirty up, especially if you push it into an amp on the edge of breakup. But it was like, if you didn't dig in, it would clean right up. And as soon as you dug in, it was full on gain. I was just like, that's insane. Phil Bradshaw asks, what amp is under the Vox behind you? This right here is a Darius D12, which is made by Ahead Amps, a Canadian company. So early 70s, mid 70s solid state amp, which I have a soft spot for picking those suckers up because they're like 20, 30 bucks at the pawn shop. Why not pick it up?
As long as it works.
Yeah. And I find with those, a lot of them, it's weird because if you turn up the volume, it's fine. As you turn up the tone knob, it's actually more like gain than tone. So if you just dime everything on the amp, it's got a really cool breakup to them.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Lawrence just said, unfortunately, JFETs have to be converted over to SMD, so he has to hand solder those little bitches, and there's 5 of them in each of the 87.
Ouch.
Man.
That's got to be fun. Yeah. Awesome. Let's see here. How good are Vox pedals, Rob 212S? I haven't played any Vox pedals myself. Have either of you guys?
Yes, I have.
The only Vox pedal I've ever played, and I don't know the exact name of it, it's a big silver pedal and it makes your amp sound like an AC30. And I don't remember the name of the pedal.
There's that one, and then they had the same size enclosure, bigger ass metal enclosure, and it's bright red with yellow lettering, and that's I don't know. They're supposed to be. They were billed, like you're saying, as amp in a box pedals, but they fell short. You can get them really cheap now, though.
Yeah, because they're huge.
Yeah, it's kind of like the original Hughes and Kettner. The hell is that thing
the
called? Like,
Rotosphere.
Exactly, and then they had the. Now they have an amp called the Tube Meister. Back then it was like the Tube Master, maybe. Same thing. It was 3 channels, and it essentially went you're clean, you're dirty, and then a boost all in one, and it had a tube in it, and it was huge and heavy as shit. And
yes.
People are mentioning Vox was. Yeah, I never even thought about that. That's probably by far the most popular Vox pedal of all time.
Yeah, I don't use wah pedals.
I'm going to get into it. Well, Aaron, I stopped using a wah because Richie used a wah all the time. And I figured there's no reason that both guitar players in the band need to use a wah.
Well, I mean, look at me. Do I look like the kind of guy that's over there, soloing? No, I grew up on like 90s grunge and alternative and, noise rock and shit like that. So I play in 3 pieces where if it's a lead, it's, it's not something that's going to need a fucking wah. Let's just say that.
Right. Romeo Delight's asking if I've ever played a Dumble. I have not. Have either of you guys ever had a chance?
I absolutely have. I played an Overdrive Special. There was a year, I want to say it was 2008 maybe, or 2009. I was asked to go to the Gibson Custom Shop in Nashville where they had a summer jam. It's called Summer Jam. I think they have it every year. And I was in the house band. And the other guitar player in the house band had a Dumble Overdrive Special with 2 212 cabinets, and he allowed me to plug into it. And it was everything that you could ask for in a Dumble. It was amazing. Just amazing amplifier.
Nice. Mark is headed out. Have a good one, buddy. I'll talk to you later this week. And let's see. Will asks, can you ask Dave, out of all of his axes, which is his favorite, Aaron included? Thanks.
It depends on the day for me.
Yeah. I was going to say, you have such a wide variety of guitars that you have a guitar for each mood. So it depends on what you feel like, right?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't picked this guitar up in at least 2 months. I picked it up today only because I asked Pete Thorne about the one that Eddie Van Halen gave him.
Right.
And after I asked that question and he answered it, I picked mine up, and I haven't tuned it. Still in tune. It's just wonderful, and I kind of haven't put it down other than me using the Steinberger a few minutes ago.
Right.
Today, this is my favorite guitar. Most of the time, my Circles guitar that I just built a couple weeks ago, that's been my favorite guitar since I put it together, because again, I've said it before on a lot of my Facebook lives. It decided it wanted to be a guitar right away. It stays in tune incredibly. It feels wonderful. Once I put it together, usually when you put a brand new guitar together, it's like, oh no, I don't want to do this. Oh, I don't want to stay in tune. The neck is always moving like it's in the witness protection plan program. It's.
I'm using that one for the record. I'm using that.
Yeah. Well, that guitar, as soon as I put it together, it was like so comfortable in its own shoes that it just like a guitar that's been together for 40 years.
And did you notice a difference with the 2-inch body?
Yeah, it sounds big. It sounds very big. It's a slightly heavier guitar, but not terribly heavy. It's in the mid 8s. I mean, the body itself is 4.6 pounds. So it's not terribly heavy for a 2-inch thick mahogany body.
Right. I was curious on that because you would know, hands down, you built 2 guitars to a similar spec, one being 2-inch and one not, if there would be a difference in that extra bit.
And you know, other than painting, I build all these guitars. I put them all together. I do all the setups. I have a buddy that does all the painting because he's an artist and he's really good at that stuff. And sometimes when I just don't want to do it, he builds for me too.
Sure.
But lately I've been in a building mood, and I've been building and building and building, and that guitar just is incredible. All of my Ibanez Gem guitars, every time I pick them up, I don't want to put them down. I have 2 Music Man Lukes that I am in love with. Every time I pick them up, I'm like, why don't I play this guitar all the time?
Right.
Everything that I have here, I pick it up off the wall. Any of those guitars, I'm like, man, why don't I use this all the time? And I've said it before and I'll say it again, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but I have a knack of finding good guitars. That's something I'm good at. And if anyone that's in this chat or anyone that ever hears this video, if you're interested in finding a good guitar, or you want a good guitar, you don't know how to find one, you don't know how to get a good guitar, but any brand you want, just look me up, get me on Facebook, Instagram, any way you can try to find me, and ask me. It's like I almost want to start a business. If you want a great guitar and you don't know how to find a good guitar or a good example of a guitar, here I am. Hire me, pay me a finder's fee, and I'll get you the best guitar that you've ever.
I agree. You found a lot of great guitars, and thank you very much, Chad Boston. Super Chat Train Coffee Time. It'll be going to our beer/bail budget for Summer NAMM, Chad. Thank you. All super chats tonight are going for beer and or bail as needed at Summer NAMM. And of course, if we raise a fair amount of money, that also includes us buying rounds for YouTubers that we run into as well, because why not? Spread the love. And Lawrence Petross says, Dave, when you were asking, after you asked Pete about that guitar, he went looking for one on Reverb.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Very cool. There is a really nice one on Reverb now. I believe it's Reverb. Yeah, there's one that looks like Pete's guitar. It's an amber color. It's the same exact guitar as this. It's a 2009 USA made Wolfgang archtop. And I believe there is an amber one, a quilt maple top on Reverb now. I'm not sure how much it costs. I think it's somewhere in the, I want to say $2,600 range, somewhere around there, which is still a great price since all the brand new ones are $3,200, $3,300. Plus, they don't make them with maple fretboards anymore. The only way to find them with maple fretboards is getting a used one. I suggest if you have the dough and you want one, go buy one.
For sure. And Terry says, tell David it would be a great idea, a guitar consultant /finder. Yes, because my God, just the amount of times I pick Dave's brain over stuff, and it's like boom, like you can't go wrong.
I have a feeling that Aaron is very similar to me in his knowledge because I've been in music retail and I've worked for luthiers. I've built guitars. I've been in the guitar business. I would say about 30 years.
Yeah. And Thomas Santiago, thank you very much. He donated. Great show, Ben. No, great show, Ben, Aaron, Dave, and Rob previously.
Thank you. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. This is a good time.
And yes, Aaron and I will toast you in a video from NAMM, for sure. Will does a lot of stuff behind the scenes here. I will say that.
Awesome.
He's a really good guy. Metalhead Hippie. Any Schecter players? I haven't owned a Schecter, but I played several, and I've never played one I didn't like.
I'll tell you right now, we accidentally recently, somebody ordered a purple quilted top Flying V from Schecter, and then when it was already mid-ship, they switched their mind and got a black one sent to them. So we have the purple at the store. Again, made at World Manufacturing. Something about those fucking necks, dude. I'm not a V guy, and it sounds incredible. It plays incredible.
Guys, I hate to say this, but it's 10 o'clock, and I turn into a pumpkin at 10:01. I really got to go.
Dave,
Okay.
it was nice
Dial
meeting
us
you,
first
brother.
thing in the morning. Same thing. Same with you,
Yeah.
Aaron. I appreciate it. And Ben, thank you for having me on tonight.
Hey, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. When you called me today, as soon as you're like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's not wait. Let's do it. Because
Absolutely.
I wanted you two guys to meet up because I know how both you guys are. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Lawrence, thank you very much. You too, pal. And everyone in the chat, thank you so much. I'll see you all on the next one with Johnny. And
Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Also, Dave goes live on Facebook. Check it out.
yeah, unfortunately, I don't give you guys time to really think about that. I just go on at the moment's notice. But Ben, thank you for having me on, and I look forward to coming on again whenever you want me on.
Anytime, brother. You know I love you.
All right, same here. Good night, guys and girls. Bye.
Have a good one. Want to keep going for a while, Aaron?
That's what she said. And I said, yeah, why not? I'm
All
bored, but I'm good.
Well, you know, we had some super chats come in, so you know, like let's give them their money's worth.
Yeah, no, I'm good with it. Yeah, let's do this.
If Todd Flowers is still in the chat, which I'm guessing he's not, since he just messaged me, I will get back to you because I'm doing a show right now.
he just wrote later Dave N, so he must still be in here.
All right. Excuse me. And
Stuart,
I do want to say,
I'm
you,
American.
folks that are dropping out, but it's been a few minutes, so you probably already left. Stuart, stakes on you. You know, we could do that. We can make it happen.
No, he said, no, you got to see, though. He said steaks on him, but then drinks on us. And I said, I've seen you drink bourbon. That's a loss. So now he just said, I'm going to need my Canadian Express. I'm thinking, you son of a bitch. I'm American. I live just south of Chicago.
Kubrick asks, and I think Lawrence asked as well. Let's see here. And thanks again, Thomas Santiago, buddy. I really appreciate it. Is that a Fender amp behind me? Yes. This is a Fender Blues Deluxe. To the right of it is a Fender FM100 head and matching 412 cab. So that's 100 watts of solid state power at 4 ohms. It is loud as fuck. And that's what I used in One Day to Live, because there is a place for solid state amps. A buddy of mine who was a big disciple of Dimebags, when you play really hardcore stuff, he said, solid state amp is a punch to the face. A tube amp is just me mashing my hand into your face. So I used that because I ran a MXR full bore metal into that because it was a punch in the face. And let's see here. All right, I just saw your bourbon comment, Aaron.
Well, it's true. I mean,
see you, Pete. Thanks for watching. Caleb! Caleb says keep going. Caleb, do you want to jump in? Mr. Nerd Halen himself?
We're going to have
Marshall or Fender and why? Joe Hervey asks. It depends on what you're doing. There's a time and a place for each. Although I'm leaning more Marshall these days because I'm playing heavier than I used to play.
And I do Fender because they are the best fucking pedal platform amps ever.
Yeah.
And I use a ton of pedals, if you've ever heard my band.
No worries, Todd. He says, my memory is so bad, if I think of something, I have to say it right then. Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way, dude. Kubrick Lover has a Fender Mustang amp. Those things get ripped on, but they're still decent. I'm sorry.
Well, here's the thing, and I try to tell everybody this, okay? In 2019...
See you, James.
In 2019, what's shitty isn't really shitty. You know what I mean? Like, when we were growing up, Ben, I mean, a $500 guitar barely stayed in tune. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you can grab a $179 Fender or a Squier Bullet and go play a show with it, no problem. So...
Exactly. Phil Bradshaw says, learn Painkiller. I'll learn it if you sing it. Yeah, that's right, Terry. Dimebag playing Randall's and they were solid state. Will Varela says, was that loud as duck? I'm old. Hearing isn't what it used to be. All right. It is loud as fuck.
Dude, I've got headphones on. That came through pretty loud. That was hilarious.
I think you mentioned you can have the clean and dirty at the same time on that Marshall. Yes, I can. Frank Corcoran, good to see you, buddy. And Phil says you don't want that to happen. Caleb said he's driving, so next time. And yes, I will have Caleb back on soon. We got to do a hangout because he's got shit's going down with Caleb Rapoport, folks. That's all I'm saying. Shit's going down with Caleb.
Joe Hervey, yes, there is Guitar Center 4th of July sales from the 27th through the 7th.
Kubrick Lover 72 says, I have a Fender Squier Bullet Strat and an Epiphone Les Paul Special too. Ironically enough, there may in fact be demos on both of those guitars coming out this week on the channel. Because, well, Aaron, you caught some of that, what Dave and I were talking about off air before the show about frequency of videos. You know what? I'm just going to go balls out until NAMM. Let's, because I've got like 10, 15 videos set for release. Let's just throw them out there daily until NAMM, because I know we will be down during NAMM and we'll just concentrate on live stuff and then upload after.
Well, there's going to be so much live content. Like, okay, so let's just put it this way. Ben and I...
Just before you do that, I'll follow up. Frank was asking how I do it with the Marshall. Normally with a Marshall, to get your high gain, you got to jumper both channels. You can't really jumper them without a foot switch. So there is separate clean and dirty channels you can turn up at the same time, basically. And that's how I get your Sparkle Drive or your... Oh, come on. I always forget. The Lawrence Petross Modern Classic, I do believe. And no problem, Kubrick. Thank you.
Plug the phone in.
And nice shirt, Soda Pop says. Thank you very much. Yes, Lawrence Petross. Artisan effects pedals, handmade in Mesa, Arizona. www.lawrencepetrossdesign.com. I'm reading that either backwards in the reflection on the screen or upside down.
I was going to say, Ben and I are going to try to bring as many of you guys along with us via the live stream to NAMM as possible. So be sure to join.
I'll have some data, and Aaron has unlimited data or something, I guess, because you guys live in a country that offers that.
I have unlimited and 5K, so we'll be fine.
There we go. So you're more than welcome, Lawrence. My God, you've done a lot for me. The least I could do is give some back. And Kubrick Lover 1972 also has a MIDI keyboard. Cool. So we got Terry saying BC Rich equals Ben Coombs and Rich. Sure. And then the dog puss says, so Ben is the one that bought BC Rich. Shh. What do you think I've been doing with all those super chats, folks? That's right. I know you'll be there, Todd. Todd's a great guy because we're cousins. We got the tone hair. We love our tellies. We love our P90s. We may not agree on everything in life, but we're both smart enough to put it aside and just love each other because he's my cousin. On that note, yes,
here's a fun one for you. We get down to Nashville, you know where we're staying, which is, I mean, first off, that's going to be a time in and of itself.
Yes.
But we get down to Nashville because you figure you and I are slow rolling on Wednesday, which allows us to stop and see the Pantless Wonder in Louisville.
Right.
Shoot a video there, and then continue on our way. That's about halfway down.
Yeah, and we do have a meeting that evening, remember?
We do have a meeting that evening. But we'll probably get into town to where we'll be able to hit Carter's and then drop our shit at the house, then hit the meeting. That's pretty much how I think Wednesday is going to unfold.
All right, somebody asked to see it, so...
Do you like G&L P90 tellies, or does it have... Craig, I love G&L. They're fantastic, and they're
all right, quit talking for a second, Aaron. I'm trying to show off a damn guitar. There we go. In all its glory. With FU tone pickups, because you don't have tone unless you have FU tone. Oh. There we go. There's the commercial. And Danny Alexander. Damn, buddy. He says, great show, guys. That looks like another pint. So awesome. Thank you, guys. Oh, that sucks, Joe. He's got blood work at 7 a.m. tomorrow, but at least it's early in the morning because I know you have to fast before that stuff. I really appreciate that, Danny. Yes, all super chats. If you're late joining, all super chats are going to beer, which leads to bail. So it's one or the other. Pretty sure Nashville isn't ready for these two. Don't forget your belt buckles and spurs. Brian, I told you about that.
You don't actually
look
dress
like
like
a
a
poser.
cowboy.
You don't want to look like an urban cowboy. Remember that.
Stuart, I go to Nashville multiple times a year. Just show up as your normal Willem Dafoe looking self, and just you're good.
Okay, yeah, Will, you're right. Well, I only usually mention sponsors on the Monday show because they sponsor Canucks with guitars. But we do, yes, and the tour sponsors as well. So we, obviously Lawrence Petross, Adam Reaver at FU Tone, Rob Welch at Tesi Switch, which if you order anything at Tesi Switch, use the coupon code Canucks and save 15%. We have, obviously, Reno Fin Custom Guitars, maker of the Ben Coombs signature guitar. Our preferred Canadian retailers, Ardens Music, available at ardensmusic.com. Our preferred American retailers at Flipside Music at flipside-music.com. And then there's the tour sponsors. The tour sponsors include Todd Flowers, Will Varela, Brian Landreth, Brian Stewart, excuse me, Brad Miller. I'm not going to include Aaron because Aaron's along for the ride.
Don't forget our favorite tour sponsor, Freelance Vagina.
Yes. Yes, we do. Now my sister's throwing up again. Oh, I see. Brian says, so setting these dudes up, they're going to show up looking like cowboys and everyone else at NAMM will be in flip-flops. Dang, Brian from Oregon. Thanks, buddy. Just because you guys rock. I will be wearing a cowboy belt, as they call it, or Western belt. The same belt I wear every day. There it is, complete with the little inserts. I bought this on Yonge Street at a head shop in 1988. Yeah, I told you, my sister puke.
I will be wearing the same black studded belt with the Game of Thrones Stark direwolf head that I always wear.
There we go. Marsman says, you guys are going to get my sponsorship in person.
Yeah, Marsman.
Yeah, just remember, when I hit Nashville, I'm going to be strutting down that street, 150 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal.
Fact.
Which it really is neither. Okay, no one want to see your zipper area. Blinded by the white. Yeah, hey, at least I'm wearing a shirt. I didn't put a shirt on until right before the show started. Because it was another hot day.
Man. I'm still in my swim trunks from the beach.
Nice. Ben Coombs looks a younger, less stoned Willie Nelson. Well, we can sure. Ben Coombs and Quentin will be in underwear and ketchup. Oh God, ketchup fight. Hey, Braxel, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, we're 2 hours into live stream. None of the companies are going to be watching. Legal here, anyways. I'll be wearing a jock strap and a dog collar like GG Allen. Oh dear Lord. That's an image metalhead hippie because I've seen you I've seen your video, so I know what you look like.
So I say we pose a question to the chat. What is your guys's, I don't know, shit, let's come up with something fun. We'll start easy, just like a first date. What's everyone's favorite color?
What are you all up to tonight? Braxel says. So while you type in your favorite color, let's see, Braxel, what are we up to tonight? Well, we had Rob Johnson on earlier asking about striped guitars. We had Dave Nesdall on. His Nesdall knows all. Great guy. We were supposed to have another guest who I was talking to, Aaron, at 7:15. He said in capital letters, "Don't worry, I'll be there."
Like I told you like a month ago, I know the path that person is traveling, and it doesn't end well.
All right, we're getting a lot of stuff here. Why don't you read off some colors here?
Well, the first one I saw was Krellbar in blue. So we'll start there. It is. Krellbar was blue. Stewart said something about you starring in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. But, you know, whatevs. Phil Mosley wants to live near a beach that isn't miserable. Bizarre. Yeah, I mean, my dad worked at ComEd my entire life, so there's a private beach about a half hour south of here that we go to, which is awesome. Clear. Nice job, Craig Flowers. That's a wonderful color. Joe Hervey's blue. Stewart's black. Phil Bradshaw's plaid. Rob is blue. JJ Green. God, I knew we were homies. Green's my favorite, especially forest green. Back in black, Stewart. Royal purple, like 68 Deluxe. Nice job, LPD. That's a good color.
It is a nice color, too.
Ugliest sin. That's what Brian Landreth says he is. Okay. Brian from Oregon says clear. Again, not really grasping the colors. Mark red. Marsman brown, like poo. Thomas Santiago black. Bill Bradshaw Paisley. Orange for Todd. He had to go and be fucking difficult. Todd Flowers green. Way to go.
I like Jimmy Biter.
Nice
just opaque. Green. Just opaque. And, you know, just blurry. Amanda, the question is your favorite color. Phil Mosley says Technicolor. Love it. Salmon pink for Johnny Beane. You mean dead salmon from the Dogpa.
Nicely done.
Black Ben, with a little black added in.
What's your favorite color, Mr. Coombs?
Candy apple red, probably.
Oh.
But it has to be with gold metal flake.
See, I would not have guessed that. Mine is without a doubt that like forest green that like if you did a quick look at it, you'd think it's black, but then you look at it and you're like, oh no, that's really fucking dark green.
Oh,
that's
look out. We've got Steve Anderson in the house. Terracotta orange. Steve. Awesome, buddy. We had Nesdal and Rob Johnson on earlier. Pink lipstick dog penis. Yeah. Yeah, we'll allow those, Terry, because that's related to Kiesel.
Todd, we asked the color, not what you had for dinner.
Oh. By the way, I never did ask, does anyone notice that I have a fan running in the background?
No.
Good.
Right now it's dark sparkle purple on his... Oh, wait, did I just read he has a vintage tee?
Yes, I am, Todd Flowers. I am colorblind, in fact.
That Braxel, you've got a Friedman vintage tee relic. Ooh. That is like number 3 on my list of guitars.
Is relic as Baker's is? Pretty sure you can't say dog penis on YouTube. Well, I just did, Brian.
I don't see why you can't. It's an educational segment.
And Thrash, that's not... Whatever, Thrash. You got your hate on for Terry for whatever reason.
Dude, always be trying to block the punk rock. Wait, I thought you were thrash metal. You're not punk rock.
Demonetized, Lauren says. Yeah, well. Yeah, I am, in fact, Todd Flowers. I have a hard time distinguishing blues and purples. That's the big problem for me. And apparently greens and blues, when they start blending, too. Because what I think is a certain color, but, you know, it's one of those things, even if you're colorblind, you know, someone tells you the sky is blue, even if the color looks, say, red to me, I associate the color red with the word blue. But... yeah, blues and purples, and every once in a while, I know I'm way off on a color because I'll describe something, and Richie calls me out. He goes, dude, you're that fucking blind? It's clearly this color. Yeah, exactly. Amanda says, don't let Ben decorate. There goes your chance of being a Prince cover band. Yep.
Wolverella
is naturally relic. No one likes me except my lawyer.
That guy doesn't like you either. He just wants your money.
Yes, Joe Hervey asks, am I still moving? Yes, we are looking for a house as we speak.
Just
Hopefully we'll be
outside
moved
of
by
where
the end
I
of the
live.
year.
Just outside of where I live, right?
I wish.
Dude, I should talk to your parents.
Well, we're actually going to move close to my sister.
Well, I'll talk to your sister too. Let's all just move down here.
That's right, Steve. We're vapors. You can say Kiesel, so that makes every other word okay. Frank Stallone. Yeah, I heard about that. I think it was you that mentioned it, Metalhead Hippie and Pete Thorne's chat.
If anybody's ever seen Frank Stallone, he probably enjoyed it. Just
That's true. You can see a picture of it on Wildwood Guitars website. Look for it. It's up under Sold Vintage T Friedman. Oh, nice.
I shall do that, Braxel. Not at the moment.
You seriously don't want to move to Illinois? I pretty much, if I was to move to the U.S., Aaron and I were talking about, I've narrowed it down to 2 cities. So it would either be Nashville or the Los Angeles area.
And it'd be Nashville for me.
Yeah.
Something about that tang with twang, baby.
Let's see. True Tech. He says, I see a hash pipe. Well, it's got weed in it, but yeah, basically the same thing. My sister asked, can we adopt Aaron? Yeah, well, we are. Brian Landreth. Nobody moves to Illinois.
No, that's actually a fact. Everyone is leaving Illinois.
Come to Vegas? Yeah, Vegas. Actually, a couple years ago, I was thinking about Vegas because a lot of guys were, a lot of rock guys are based out of Vegas.
I can't go to Vegas. The last time I was there, I almost died.
Jasco says, come to the Bronx.
I've been to the Bronx. I've played the Bronx. There's decent times over there. Although there ought to be a fucking warning sign for anybody that shows up in Bushwick in the wee hours of the morning, like, don't do it.
I was just thinking I could go to work for Jasco. I already have the uniform.
Well, as long as he's not centered in Bushwick so that we don't get fucking shot or stabbed every day, I'm down.
Hey, Sean Zimmerman's here. Well, that's something to keep in mind, God Flowers. Yeah.
Hellface, as long as you're not from Murder City, you're all right. That would be Gary, Indiana.
Jasco says, I got you, man. You're hired. Will Varela, Oregon wouldn't be a bad place. I wouldn't mind living in Portland, actually.
It's funny. The 2 cities I played in 22 of the 50 states. 2 states I never played in and 2 cities that I've always wanted to go to. Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington.
Yeah, I see. I would go for Portland because there's so many cool pedal builders there, right?
Yeah.
Braxel, how are you guys able to switch the camera angle so quick? That's not us. That's Google Hangouts does that automatically. And Bushwick is actually in Brooklyn, according to Will.
Well, Bushwick is a shithole and they have rats the size of footballs. Not even joking.
Portland is in self-destruct mode now. Why would you say that, Brian? I'm curious.
Terry, I said I played in 22 of the 50 states. I didn't say which 28 I missed. Alaska was one of them. Yes, I missed Alaska.
But then again, see, that's the thing. Like, some people will say, don't move here. It's a shithole. And other people will say, why is that? And it's all depends on lifestyles, right? Like, whether you lean, because we're not going to get into it. But if you lean to the left or the right in life, we'll say, definitely would affect your happiness living different places around the world. So,
well, LPD is out in Arizona. I've played Arizona. I love Arizona. My dad was going to move to Arizona before my mom got sick.
I like Arizona too because of the dry heat. Because I have arthritis. Okay, yeah. Riots, homelessness issues. That sucks. Savannah, I would not move to. I had some friends that lived around there. It's getting a little crazy at times. They've actually moved out of the Savannah area the last few years. I don't know why exactly.
I can't do Florida, too humid. I can't do any of the southeast. I mean, it's so fucking humid.
And if you're going to, let's move waste it like right down into Florida area. Wilmar, am I? Yes, I may have been partaking in a bit. Yes. Again, helps with the arthritis.
Wilmar, he's doing the pot.
Which I understand. If you're not into it or totally against it, I get it if you want to walk away. Because not everything is for everybody in life. And that's what I do. If I don't like something, I just walk away. I don't keep watching and giving it thumbs downs. Oh, wait, did I say that out loud?
Well, that
yeah, Brian's from Oregon.
When I was so my bachelor's degree is in mass communication with a focus on videography. I remember in our media law class, there was a guy that used to walk by a dude's house and look in his window when he was watching porn, and then tried to call the cops and sue him because he was seeing all this nudity and sexual behavior. And it was like, you don't have to look. That's what it came down to. Is like, you're looking at that.
Right, so I'm going to do shotgun style here. So we've got the dog puck, Keith Moon. It's Medicine Kitties, Medicine. Wilmar says, no worries, Ben, not judging. I just wasn't sure what I saw. I'm from California, though. Gotcha. Plus, yeah, let's be honest, my bandwidth sucks. So, you know, you're not sure exactly what I'm doing. I'm sure half the time I'm blurry as fuck on this thing. Let's see here. And Brian says, the weed is legal in Canada. They actually don't put people in jail for stuff that grows naturally in the wild. Yeah, but that was only last October. Phil Mosley, drugs are bad. Okay, now pass the joint. Pooh Ninja's in the house.
Will Varela asked if I've ever played in the cousin fucker state. Yes, I have plenty of times. In fact, fun story. Last time I played there, we took a homeless guy and got him drunk off of Mickey's hand grenades. And then he had such a good time. He thought he was going to get in the van and go on the rest of the tour with us. But he smelled so bad, we saw no fucking chance. So we drove him to the end of the street, and he climbed into his dumpster, and we parted ways. I have pictures of him. Nice guy. His name was Daryl.
And let's see. We got Islander Winder tuning in from the East Coast. He says it's legal up here in Kanukistan. So somebody's a Dave's World of Fun Stuff fan, because that's where I heard that term first time.
Brian Stewart, I have met Rick Nielsen because he is very good friends with one of my ex-girlfriend's dads.
I condone a lot of foolish cocaine consumption in the 80s. Got some kudos for not digging in. Yep. Okay. Fair enough. Hold my pipe so I can roll this joint. Hey, Brian Long. Denny Allen also said he's been lurking since part 1. That's awesome. Visited Winnipeg once, and that has to be the coldest place I have ever... Portage and Maine. The intersection of Portage and Maine. Oh, yeah. It gets down to minus 40 Celsius with the wind chill. Minus 40 Celsius, Aaron.
What was that?
The corner of Portage and Maine. Super windy in Winterpeg, as we refer to it. Minus 40 plus Celsius in the winter.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I thought it was bad this year here when it was negative 40 without the wind chill, and it was like negative 62 with wind chill. But that's what, Fahrenheit in the U.S., right?
Right. Metalhead Hippie, July 3rd, 25 years clean and sober. That is awesome, man. Says the guy who's been drinking on pints the whole show. So that's how I applaud people that much more. Rick Nielsen is a god. There, I said it. You're right there, Mr. Stewart. Old Uncle Rick. Yep. We like Uncle Rick.
I was going to say, when I broke up with that girl, I was actually more sad because I wouldn't be able to hang out with her dad because he owned Conquest Cables. They did like all the guitar and speaker cables that are used at the House of Blues. And like you went in his basement, it was like photos of him with like fucking Samuel L. Jackson and all these like awesome people. And he played bass on a bunch of records. Just super cool guy. And it's like, when I broke up with her, I remember being like, I can still like talk to your dad though, right? And she was like, no, you fucking asshole. And I'm like, oh.
Dang. True Tech, you're smoking stuff that's 33% THC. God damn. Don't make any plans other than watching us. Phil Mosley said he was curious to hear. So yeah, we use Celsius and we use the metric system in Canada because we're smart that way. Most of the world uses metric system. It's all tens.
I hate the Bears. Absolutely hate the Bears. I am a Miami Dolphins fan, but I'm not true Chicago. I'm a diehard Cubs fan.
Okay, this is obviously directed by me, at me, even though I wasn't tagged in it. Brian Stewart says, "Fuck you, but your dad is cool." Because we all know my dad's cool.
I think he was talking about the girl I broke up with.
Oh.
Makes sense. Since he said Rick Nielsen's a god.
Peanut butter breath. I'll have to keep an eye out for that. And there we go. I think we're caught up. And we should have, before we decided to keep going, we never asked if the folks in the chat wanted us to keep going.
Well, I figured you and I were going to keep talking either way. So, I mean, might as well bring them along for the show.
I like the Brian Stewart, Queen on the money, metric system. What is wrong with these people? Well, let's see. We were still part of the Commonwealth until 1984. And we still, the Queen is still technically our head of state. But we're not getting into politics. We love the Queen.
Islander Winder just taught me something. I don't even know if it's true, but if it is, he just taught me something.
It is.
So no shit. When I said it was -40 here, that's the same shit you run into.
And that's true too. Man, Brian knows an awful lot about Canada, I must say. 90% of Canada does live, or Canadians do live within 100 miles of the United States. Because it's cold if you keep going north. That's right, Terry. He goes, hey, more views, more millicents. I'm not common? Well, thank you. I am not common. I'm definitely not upper crust. You're still a member of the Commonwealth. Do you mean the Empire? Sure, the Empire. If that's what you guys refer to it as, the Empire, the Commonwealth, yeah. That's what I know it as. Because we were a Commonwealth state. It's weather-related, we need to eat.
That reminded me of that old meme that used to say punctuation saves lives, and it said, let's eat grandma without the comma before grandma.
Right.
I always loved that one.
Yeah. Grammar and punctuality. Well, punctuality too. But wait, is it? Yeah, I guess it is. No. Punctuation.
Punctuation, it's a comma.
Well, see, I just had my medicine, so. Because I sit in a chair too long, my hip starts to cramp. And now it's just a slight dull ache. So it works, folks. The Commonwealth is still a thing. The Empire isn't.
I'm going to
now.
Ben, I'm good to keep going with this, man. I'm having a good time. Are you good on data, or does it matter for you? Or
I'm on Wi-Fi, or not Wi-Fi, but internet. That's why I'm blurrier tonight, because I'm actually using my home internet. I'm not using data.
Okay, cool. So then, if you're down for going longer, and these folks here, let's pose it to the chat. Who here wants to continue on with this shit show?
Well, Lawrence is headed out. We'll talk soon, buddy. Have I had cortisone injections for the arthritis? No, I have not. I'm one of those guys. I never go to the doctors. I don't like doctors. Am I blurry? I bet I am blurry. Am I blurry, folks? Phil says continue on, and he's in the UK.
On my phone, you are sharp as can be.
I fly in on
the 16th at 3:45.
What day of the month is that? The 16th.
Tuesday.
Oh, thank fuck. I didn't fly out Monday. Monday's Dad's birthday.
Tuesday the 16th, you land at 3:45.
There we go.
All right. If we're going to keep this party rolling, I need more.
Will you do that? I will quit my bitch and metalhead hippie. Can you announce this, please? Will the guy with the bobsled and the Huskies you parked in the handicap zone? You will be towed. Thanks. Hobo Roadie's just here. Thomas Santiago says keep going. Dr. Schmachter. Yeah. Let's see. Todd's with me on doctors. Stay going. Okay. True Tech. Damn it. 2 mosquito bites. I'll have the Southwest Ontario Nile. Love it. All right. We'll keep going. I'm blurry in real life. I bet. I probably would be, Pooh. Yeah. I guess it does. Yeah, I am blurry due to lack of bandwidth and old equipment, and I am working on that. So hopefully we will get a new computer after NAMM. That's the next thing. NAMM, after NAMM, new computer, which then I can start editing videos and do the picture-in-picture of pedals when I demo them and stuff like that. And then, yeah, start saving for Winter NAMM or the next event that you guys want me to cover. Romeo Delight. I am vaping. It's called Blue Tango. So it's like a blueberry raspberry thing. I love blueberry raspberry. It's really tasty. Keep on going. All right. Keep on keeping on. We can do that, Brian. And let's do some house cleaning while I think of it. You look like a tone wizard tonight. I don't know how to take that, Amanda. So 1 week from tonight, we do have our monthly roundtable. So that'll be awesome. Featuring myself, Terry's GG&G, Guitar Hack, JJ's House of Jams, and Quentin James. That should be fun. So then... You know, of course, every Monday will be the Canucks show. The Sunday after that will be the Sunday before NAMM. I may just go live solo and play some tunes, what have you. And we're not doing a Sunday show the Sunday of NAMM weekend because Aaron and I will be traveling. You know, and we'll be going live randomly during that anyways. So check that out. And then Sunday, the 28th, which will be, for now, the last show that I have guests on, because Hangouts is going away at the end of July, and I got to get a workaround for that. So any of you computer guys, you know, and that's another thing, I got to get a new computer to be able to handle, you know, a more robust system. So that will be Scotty Smith, owner of Pro Analog Devices, coming on to hang out. So... if any of you guys are really tech savvy, I know we got a lot of tech guys in here. Greg, I want to say Anderson, he offered some help. I figured I'd hit up Chris, the Guitar Pit. I like his stuff. Mark from Tone Talk. We'll talk as well to him. As I know there's a few guys out there. Because basically, I know like OBS, I can go live with OBS, but I don't know how to invite guests on through OBS and all this stuff.
I don't know.
I don't know if I'll go that far, Phil. I really like shooting stuff live. So he's just going to go all Swish and Pro Video on us.
To answer Marsman's question, yeah, that's the plan. So he'll come in 3:45 Tuesday. I'll pick him up. Depending on traffic and whatnot, we'll try to swing by the studio, have my band go over there, jam around, play music for a while, come back here, crash. Next day, hit up Guitar Center, since it's only like 10 minutes from my house. So then that's where I would have you meet us. And then him and I would try to hit the road by noon, I think is what Ben and I had decided. That'll get us into town.
Well, yeah, if we can get away before noon, fine. But like, I'm not a morning person per se.
I'm not either.
But fortunately, the nice thing about traveling west is I've gained an hour's sleep essentially by moving to another time zone. So I'd be up by 9. And then again, I don't sleep well on the road, so I'll probably be awake at like 7 or 8 in the morning anyways.
Well, when you sleep here, you'll have a real nice bed and all to yourself and your own bathroom and shit like that. So you'll probably sleep pretty solid here.
Just sending off a quick text to Mr. Petross.
Yeah, no problem. So that's the plan of attack, is that allows Ben and I to, if we hit the road by noon, the worst it's ever taken me to get from my house to Nashville is 7.5 hours. The best I've ever made it in is 6. So you figure if we leave by noon here, like I said, get to Guitar Center around 10, probably hit the road before noon then. But even if you said noon, we'll stop halfway down, see Crazy Ass Pantless Wonder, Quentin James, and then continue
Drop
on.
off
That's
light bulbs and pants.
yeah, it's only going to be like 3.5, 4 hours from Quentin's to Nashville. So try to get into town in time to.
Oh, see you, Poo Ninja.
Adios, Pooh. Is that after all the weed, booze, and hookers? Ben will sleep well there. Hey, hey, hey. That's more in Nashville, less here. I mean, the weed and booze part's still accurate, but the hookers probably not at my house.
We don't need hookers. We play guitar.
That's true. Joe Hervey. Wait, Stuart, aren't you married? Oh, yeah, don't tell my wife. Okay. I was going to say, wait a minute, aren't you married?
And somebody asked, where it is. Somebody asked if we got to work in the morning. Well, Aaron took a nap before the show.
Yeah. I don't work until Tuesday. So I'm
there you go. And I, unfortunately, am a full-time YouTuber. I say unfortunately because I am looking to pick up a day job, obviously, because it's not like I have 1 million subscribers and, 1 million views a day. So guitar players get LSL, lead singer leftovers. And Dynamic Duo 0123 says, Aaron, it's Stephanie. I'm a big fan, and I have a question. What is your favorite Albus Soy, maybe song you've written, and why?
Wait a minute. Dynamic Duo 0123. Is that the Stephanie that actually works at Guitar Center with me? Because that would be fucking delightful. I've been trying to get her to jump on a live stream for a minute, but she's a busy bitch, so she can't always be on.
And apparently Will Varela only sleeps when he drives.
As for the favorite song that I've written,
and thank you, Halface. He just mentioned, or Half Ace, you can use Skype with OBS, easy peasy. Yeah, I just got to find out how to do it. I used to be into tech about 10 years ago, and I totally wrote that off in my life. And you can ask Terry. He's a tech guy, and I have no idea what the hell he's talking about half the time. That's right, Brad. He says it went left, got gas, and you guys are still on. Nice. Hey, Blank Palette. So, yes, favorite Albus song that you've written, Aaron. And I'm going to leave you to that while I go use the room for a moment.
Okay. Well, there's a song that we have that we're going to be recording after I get back from NAMM. So we released 2 songs 2 months ago. And they're on our YouTube page. If you haven't heard them, please go give them a listen. One is called Beast of Burden, and it's been on college radio for the last couple of months. And then the other is called Sterile Hands. But we have 4 songs that are written and that we just played out at a show a couple of weeks ago. And we'll do pre-production on that stuff once I get back from NAMM with Ben. But there's one song in particular called Nadir, Nadir, which, if you look it up, is the low point in one's life. That song is pretty awesome. I've got a couple of clips of the chorus and shit on our Instagram page, but that's probably my favorite song, Stephanie, that I have written.
And there we go. Oh, I see the Pantsless Wanderer did show up in the chat. There he is. Oh, he went to the Ghetto Kroger, got some bacon, and you kids are still on. Nice. That's right, Terry. I was, in fact, watering the flowers. Back deck right off the studio. I know, too much information.
See, now, Ben, this is just further proof of why I love the community here. You figure this shit's been going on, I don't know, almost 3 hours. And
yep.
Still got 56 watching, bunch of people participating. This is what it's all about, man.
There you go. It was Braxel. He had asked. Yeah. So Aaron is off until Tuesday, and unfortunately, I'm a full-time YouTuber at the moment. So believe me, folks, the super chats and you guys sitting through the damn ads, I really appreciate that because it does help. You headed out, Metalhead Hippie? You're more than welcome. You're always welcome here.
Brad Miller just asked where you can find the tunes. Just go to our YouTube page.
And hey, Mark Taylor?
that's somebody else I want to give a shout out to. Cool guy that I found through. There's so many cool people that I've met through your channel, Ben. Obviously the Todd Flowers, the Wolverellas, but I have found out that old Phil, he's old, not really, he's probably younger than I am, but Phil Mosley, that dude and I have a lot in common. And one of these days we're going to get him across the ocean, and him and I are going to find a way to hook up a recliner to a remote control, and we're just going to drive around the streets in it. I
like it. And we need to get Phil Mosley on here once we figure out how I can get guests on next month. Well, next month. It's technically, it's still June for another hour and 14 minutes here.
It's exactly what Brian Landreth just said. You and I talk about it all the time. He said it's just like hanging out with my buddies. And that's how it should be. Like I feel like there's no bullshit. It's just a bunch of dudes and dudettes.
Will, what, second billing, Aaron? And yes, definitely, we got to get Phil Mosley on, Brian. I do agree on that. Assuming that Phil wants to come on, he's definitely welcome. And yes, like Brian Landreth and you had said, the first time I explained this to Richie, because Rich isn't really a YouTube guy, I said, well, you know how when we sit around and talk gear? He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, we do that. There happens to be a camera on us, and there happens to be a bunch of other friends hanging out in the same room. Just virtually.
Ben and I have found out recently, Ben and I talk pretty much every day now. And literally the last 3 phone calls have been 2.5, 3 hours, 3 hours. And it's literally gets to the point where until one of us has a part in our day that requires us to step away from the phone, it's like we don't even realize that we're just shooting the shit.
And I guess my internet must be not that bad, because TrueTech noticed this back on the wall. That's right. It is, in fact, an Alesis Quadraverb. Do you want it? It's up for sale.
An old Alesis Quadraverb rack mount. Wow.
That's right. I forget what I paid for it, but I'm not asking much. I played with it for a couple of weeks. And I do have the power supply for it around here somewhere. Cool. Phil Mosley would like to come on. Awesome. And now Brian Stewart just invited himself on if Phil Mosley comes on. He says he's one of the few that appreciates my stupid humor.
I don't know about that. We all appreciate it.
Jimmy's offered me $30 for it. All right, well, so far that's the best offer. Joe offered me $4. Oh, no, Guitar Center would give me $4 for it. I bet you half the employees at Guitar Center wouldn't know what it is.
I know exactly what. Well, no, they wouldn't. I do, but that's because I'm a freak show.
So Stephanie asks, question for both. What's the best NAMM experience you've had? And what are you looking forward to this year? I'm late to the party. Sorry if it's already been asked.
It has not been asked.
I was asked what I was looking forward to, and that is honestly, it's just meeting up with people from the community, whether fellow YouTubers. Definitely, hook up with some manufacturers. I'd like to conduct some business. Obviously, pays the bills, but meeting fellow YouTubers, that I've watched for a number of years would be great.
I'm excited to see a bunch of people that I've formed Insta relationships over the last 2-3 years that, we've FaceTimed or sent each other pictures and texted, but never actually met in person. And most of them are pedal builders because, as Stephanie knows, I have steady addiction to pedals. So
why don't you have everyone on video? That would be impossible that I know of. Well, one, I don't have the bandwidth to handle it, but for instance, Hangouts here can only support up to 10 people at once. Soda Pop is headed out. See you, nephew. Always a pleasure, buddy.
Later, Soda.
I do the conversion rate, Terry. He's like US or Canadian offers. I automatically do a conversion rate in my head. It's like, what time are you on? 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. What does that cost? Well, it's 100 Canadian, about 70 US. It's like, I just automatically do conversion rates.
Now, Ben, going off of Stephanie's question, what was your favorite NAMM moment so far? Like the last NAMM was your first NAMM, right?
Yeah.
What was
So Winter NAMM, a couple of highlights come to mind. One was the Thursday morning. JJ and I split up for a moment. And sorry if you've heard the story already, folks, but she asked. I come out of the orange booth. Across the aisle is Framus. Mike Bradley sees me first, and I see him, and both of our faces light up, and it looked like a damn commercial. We're all like running towards each other. I run up to him, and Steve from Boston is there as well. They give me a bear hug, and Steve's like, "You made it, bro. You're one of us now. You're covering one of these events." I was like, "That's awesome." Also, Pete Thorne, I met him at the end of day one, had a chat with him. Then I ran to him again the next day, had a shorter chat with him. And then literally it was day 3. We passed each other. I think we were on the escalators. JJ and I were going up. He was going down. And we literally just gave each other a nod. It was, "Hey, Pete. Hey, Ben." Like your old friends by day 3. And so that was awesome. And again, we're talking fellow YouTubers, as opposed to rock stars or, the trippiest moment had to be standing there talking to Grover Jackson and Floyd Rose at the same time. That was just nuts.
See, the last time I went to NAMM was probably, I don't know, 6 years ago. How long was I married? Almost 5 years. So yeah, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that. And I mean, just overwhelmed. Back then I didn't know anybody, it was just kind of kid in a candy shop kind of thing where it's like you got exposed to all these brands. It was almost like I wish I had a pen and paper so you could write stuff down and go home and dig into it more. But I think the thing that was the coolest for me then was just being able in general to get my hands on things that hadn't hit the market yet and hear them.
Quentin James just wants to go to In-N-Out Burger with JJ. I've done it. It's awesome. Let's see. Phil Bradshaw asked what my favorite band and song is. Song, too hard to tell because it depends on the mood I'm in. And I go into modes where I'll listen to the same song daily for a couple of weeks because I'm trying to write something similar to it, maybe for a demo due to copyright, so can't really play covers and demos. So you try to do something, it's like, here's this pedal to make you sound like Jimmy Page, but I can't play any Jimmy Page licks for you to tell it sounds like Jimmy Page. So you come up with some Page-esque licks, stuff like that. Favorite bands, it's kind of a trifecta, the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, and Aerosmith. I kind of lean that way.
My favorite song of all time, which you totally would not guess for me, they will play it at my funeral, is Otis Redding, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay.
Nice tune. Hey, Mike is himself, another Chicago area man.
They're going to play that, and then they're going to play Bob Seger's Old Timer Rock and Roll.
And actually, you know what? Mike is himself. We were talking earlier. You just got here. We're talking about doing a brief meetup in Illinois around NAMM time. I will let you know when we're in town because I do remember somebody offering pizza. But no, I just like to meet up.
We could probably hit him on that, like that Sunday night or Monday when we get back. Yeah.
So I'll let you know what our schedule is, Mike, if you're up for meeting up. Just grab a pint, whatever.
Stephanie, if you're still in the chat, if you'd like to meet this handsome Canadian on the other end of the inner tubes, I'm going to bring him by Guitar Center on either the night of the 16th, probably not, though, because we'll probably jam at the studio, but definitely Wednesday the 17th. And there's already a couple of other Illinois-based people like Marsman is gonna.
Well, like you said, I'm pulling into town in theory at about 4 p.m. So we could, like hell, we're not gonna be at Guitar Center more than an hour.
Well, the big thing you got to realize is O'Hare is an hour and a half from me without traffic. I'm picking you up literally at rush hour.
That's true. That is true.
By the time you get your bags,
Mike says he's on the north side of Chicago.
Yeah, say by the time you get your bags, it's 4:15. We will literally be dick in hand until 6:30.
Right. And I will say, won't have to wait on luggage because I only have one piece and it's a carry-on. I travel light.
Oh, well, that's good. Will Varela played sitting on the dock of the bay under the Bay Bridge in 75 with some friends. It was really cool. That is cool.
Nice.
Mike as himself, the Joliet Guitar Center on Route 30 off of 55.
I could just see it. Why is there a sign up for a meet and greet for some Canadian at Guitar Center?
Because Guitar Center's not smart enough to let me monetize smart decisions.
Right. Okay, Stephanie says she'd like to meet me. Awesome. I'd like to meet you too, Stephanie.
Stephanie is easily one of the coolest human beings you'll ever meet. 20-year-old girl, badass little guitar player. She's just getting into pedals like crazy, so
Cool.
You'll love her.
Right on. Very cool. Very cool. And should mention, because we have had a few names in here, I haven't mentioned in an hour or so. Please subscribe if you're new. We're trying to hit 1,250 subscribers by Summer NAMM. I don't know what we're at now, but
yeah, Stephanie, make sure you subscribe.
I remember you talking about that, Quentin. I had to play SRV's Cold Shot on my Les Paul Custom. Still have nightmares about that one.
Someone's gonna hold up a Coombs sign and everyone will be hitting them up for free combs. Oh, I see what you did there, Crowbar. I'm gonna give you a boo, but I see what you did there.
Yeah, it looks like we still got 56 people watching.
Yeah, no, man, we're running strong. You guys are fantastic. Appreciate you guys. Phil Bradshaw, yes. Joliet.
Hey, Zach Thong's back. Oh, wow. Thank you, new subscribers. We're now up to 1,225.
Nice. Zach Thong just told us he's back, so welcome back, Zach. Crowbar, I know you tried, brother. It's okay.
Hey, Hack.
Call it menopause now.
We got Guitar Hack jumping in. Good to see you, sir.
Holy shit, if it isn't Mr. Guitar Hack.
Awesome. What do I have with gold hardware that's handy? No. How was the beach today, Hack? He and the Queen were out at the beach.
That's another guy I'm looking forward to getting to hang out with. I have not met the Hack yet.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's one of the good ones.
Well, so the way that the story goes is Marsman lives close by, and Marsman showed up at my Guitar Center, and I was looking over like a 76 Les Paul that a guy had brought in, and I was jamming on it, and out of nowhere I hear this guy go, "Oh, Guitar Hack would love that." And I look up and I was like, "How the fuck do you know Guitar Hack?" That's when he goes, "Marsman," and I was like, "Holy shit!" So that's how that relationship.
Hey,
started.
we got Andrew in the chat here. Andrew Walton. Everyone should check out his channel too. He does a great weekly talk show talking about was the Stones. Now he's getting into Clapton stuff, but they do field questions as well. Him and Simon Williams. Simon, if you're watching on replay, love your stuff. I don't always comment, but I do watch, guys. That's
and
right.
Quentin James
don't make fun of his
not
kiss
miss
pillows.
the opportunity to throw a kiss joke in there, could he?
See, and that's the first time that band has come up tonight. That's not bad. We went 3 hours.
That's true.
And then it was Quentin that had to bring it up. Now Will's gone. Todd Flowers is gone. Yeah.
But we made it 3 minutes, 3 seconds, really, since Hack got here before it happened.
Thank you, Terry. Appreciate it. I'm Gene Simmons. I invented pillows. Oh, Crowbar. I'm not even touching that.
Yeah, leave that one where it's at.
Blue Ninja's back. Yeah, it's about the same with me. I got a bunch of selfies with him, True Tech. Todd Flowers is, in fact, here, in spite of mentioning a certain band. Hack wants to say hello, all. Sorry, he's on his phone.
I'm Gene Simmons. I invented biting pillows.
That's right, Hack. You didn't. You're just famous enough that everybody does mention it. Hey, Jack Daniels, 10101. Yeah, it wasn't you either, Stuart. My sister has a bunch of selfies too. Yeah, I was getting razzed about the amount of selfies I was taking at Winter NAMM.
Wait, did I just hear Poo Ninja's back?
Yep.
Where's he at?
I saw him just up in the chat. He said hey to Hack.
Ah, he's a stealthy Poo Ninja. It makes sense.
Todd Flowers just ignores it. Let's see here. Yes, Quentin, I think it's really cool to be able to interact with musicians from all over the world, and there seems to be very little attitude. I agree. You know, doing a few events, you know, you're in a booth checking out a guitar, and you could hear, hey, cool guitar. Well, that could be Quentin James. It could be myself. It could be, you know, Phil Collum from Def Leppard. You don't know, because a gear nerd is a gear nerd.
Well, in 2019, the best thing that ever happened is that people realized other people across the internet are just people. So it's like, reach out to them, say hi, get to know them. There's no reason that musicians shouldn't be friendly with other musicians, whether you're Slash on the guitar or you just started playing the guitar. Like, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to have a conversation with somebody. And that's been my favorite thing about this community and other communities. You know, Sean Pierce Johnson's community, if his shows weren't so goddamn late, same type of thing where, you know, you get people together, you get people talking, and you find out you have a hell of a lot more in common than even just guitar. You know, we're all people. We all live lives, and the more you converse, the more you find out you have shit.
And I will say, it is a true community, because when somebody has something happen for a variety of whatever it is, it could be music related, it could be everyday life thing, you get a rally around. You know, whether it's even just as simple as positive thoughts, you know, to, you know, hey, somebody has a pedal that goes wrong, people reach out. You know, I had that happen. It was awesome. You know, just all kinds of stuff like that. Jack Daniels says Australians and Canadians have a lot in common. We do. Are you from Australia, Jack Daniels? I'm curious. But it is great community. Like, you know, you can have a rough day and people will notice, and you will get those text messages. Hey, you know, is everything all cool? You know, it's great.
What I was going to say, think about how many times where, you know, you say to somebody, hey man, how you doing, in a chat, and they say, I just had surgery, or, you know, my dog is sick, blah, 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 is in the hospital, whatever it is. The fact that conversation is so easy to have, it's because of the fucking fact that we're all just real people here, guards down, getting to know each other and enjoying each other's company. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Andrew, we're not forgetting New Zealanders either. So Jack Daniels is from Australia. That's good to know. Todd Flowers agrees. We have J7/8 Hannon himself in the house. We have Layla's Guitar Daddy joining in. Did not enjoy the movie yesterday. Okay, good to know.
Will Varela said something serious, and I want to take a moment to shine a light on that, because it's a rarity, but what he said, you know, it holds weight. Will, I appreciate your time and opinions, man, and your jokes. Seriously, some of the shittiest days I've had, your jokes literally make me forget the shit that I've been through. So,
that's right. Everyone put in the hashtag Justice for Jay. I was thinking about making a T-shirt that says Justice for Jay, but I'm pretty sure we won't make it very far into the Kiesel booth. I think they're aware of that hashtag. That's right, Phil. So, yeah, we did touch on that certain company earlier in the show, Jay, just so you know. That's right, Jay. So, we'll see. We'll see what we do there.
So,
I think we just pull on Henning, Pauly, and we just call them out on their shit.
Oh man, I probably should hit Henning up, but isn't he like 7 hours ahead of us?
6.
10?
6.
6. So that'd be what?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, 7 ahead of you. That's right. I always forget that we have an hour.
Yeah, 5 a.m.'s too early for him. Otherwise, I'd hit him up. He'd be the perfect guy to jump in right now.
Yeah.
But here's a fun question for you. You're stuck on a desert island. There is whatever in abundance, but it's only one thing. What food could you live off of for the rest of your life on a desert island?
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches? Is that what you said?
Yep.
Well, what's on the sandwiches?
You said one item. I just said sandwiches.
Be more specific.
Well, then it has to be a certain kind of sandwich, but that's different. I just say sandwiches. Jay says pussy.
I could live off tomatoes.
Live off tomatoes? Okay. I was going to say pizza.
Pizza's the shit. That's probably my favorite, like, fully formed food. Pizza is the shit. Bananas, I eat 1 or 2 every day already.
I bet you Brian Stewart has no bruises either.
Well, he eats bananas because he needs the hydration after all the bourbon.
And that's right. My sister got it right. Yeah, my favorite food is sandwiches.
Nice. Rice, I could fucking eat rice all day, every day. I'm like the most polarizing food person in the world. I could go full on vegetarian and have nothing but vegetables and grain, or I could live off of like slow cooked corned beef and Italian beef sandwiches.
Pizza or burgers or a full on meal would be some sort of curry with rice. I can't do the curry thing. Tacos. Oh my God. Soft tacos.
Brian Stewart, New York pizza all day, every day.
And this is coming from a guy from Illinois.
Yep. I mean, Chicago deep dish is good, but I mean, it's a fucking mess. It's heavy. You need a fucking fork if you're gonna do it. Like New York.
Oh yeah. Pizza. No, there's something I always like to rant on. Brian brought up a good point. It's bacon and not that Canadian shit. I don't know how we got tagged with back bacon or P-meal bacon, depending on who you talk to. How that's considered bacon. We eat strips of bacon the same as any American does. I don't know how we always get claimed on that.
I was going to ask you what the hell the difference was between bacon and Canadian bacon.
Nothing. Price. Yeah, but Canadian bacon is, quote unquote, Canadian bacon is back bacon.
What's the difference between a standoff and a Mexican standoff? And he said, Mexicans are in it? And I said, okay.
Yeah, Phil Mosley likes the back bacon. See, it's more of a British thing. Maybe that's why, they're like, they're Canada, they're close enough.
Apparently, Canadian bacon is freaking ham.
It's literally a hybrid between ham and pork chops. A little more ham tasting, but it has a little bit more the consistency of a pork chop.
Crowbar says if there's coconuts on the island, it really doesn't matter what food you pick.
Yes, P-meal bacon is back bacon. Hack, you should know that. That's made by an American company, Brian Stewart. Don't blame that on us. That's the only place I see that weird-ass round bacon is McDonald's. Although it does fit nicely on a burger.
Well, I mean, they do the same thing with the eggs. And their commercials recently, they've shown you, like, why does your egg not fall off your sandwich? Because we cracked the motherfucker into a circle. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, that's true, Tech. The average person swallows 8 spiders a year.
The pigs have to walk further. Nicely done, Dwight Bailey.
Dudes, you can cook bacon into a circle? Yeah, that doesn't sound good. Canadian bacon comes from Canadian pigs. I like that one, Hack. It's locally sourced. Is Tim Hortons my favorite coffee spot? It is not. Not a fan. It smells like dirty socks to me. Hack loves it, mind you.
I am a Dunkin' Donuts fanatic.
And I will say, yeah, they are definitely saturated Like, I live in a town of about 16, 17,000 people, and we have 6 or 7 Tim Hortons in and around town.
Holy shit.
Well, they put one on the edge, every edge of town, you know, type thing, and then scattered throughout. Hey, Dan in New Jersey. Good to see you.
Okay, so we've covered favorite colors. We've covered desert island foods. We've covered favorite band and favorite song.
Hack says, have me some dirty socks right now.
Nice. How about biggest pet peeve in the world, Ben? Mine is traffic. Fucking
Chewing with your mouth open.
Mine is absolutely traffic.
6 out of 7 people won't read this. Yeah.
I read it, and so did you. Krell bars with me on traffic. Dogpuss is misinformation on YouTube. That's what YouTube is.
Yeah. Bullshit. Yeah, that's a good one.
Plus 100 on traffic.
People spell a lot as one word. Well, it depends, Quentin, because it's spelled that way or separate, depending, you know.
I'll tell you what, though. I do go nuts when people say irregardless. That drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah, irregardless or supposedly.
That's not a fucking word. It's regardless.
Yeah.
Ben's is maple syrup.
Oh, I hate maple syrup.
You hate
or
maple
how
syrup?
about people take stuff out of the freezer to unfreeze it? You mean thaw it?
People who hang toilet paper backwards. That's an interesting one. I guess I'm so concerned with wiping my ass, I never even noticed that.
Pet peeve when people say, and go. Use, guys. Nice. Calendars.
Use, guys. That's an interesting one.
Yeah,
I don't
pin
know
number.
people.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Stomach flu is never enjoyable. Well, that's true. That's a good one. There's a lot of sayings that people misquote. I have a friend that says, get used of it. Oh, that hurts. Jack, I'm sorry, brother.
I don't like shopping carts left in the parking lot. Danny Allen says, yeah.
Yeah. You guys', that's a tough one.
Or one that I hear more, we'll say, the further south you go, let me cut it on. You can't cut anything on. You can cut something off, but you cannot cut something on. That's physically impossible.
Valentine's, that is a bad one, Amanda. You're right. My fucking 4-year-old son corrected some lady in February when she was telling her daughter it's going to be Valentine's Day. He goes, it's Valentine's, not Valentine's. And I was like, I'm not even going to yell at him for interjecting. He's fucking right.
Will Varela, he tagged you. His 2 pet peeves.
I do, and I'm pregnant. Holy shit. Will, you are the man.
Brian says, gag me with a spoon. Well, you know, if you're around the 80s, that's right.
All right, so now let's flip the script on that. What are your 2 greatest heroes, inspirations? Mine would be air conditioning and then hooded sweatshirts.
See, I can't wear hooded sweatshirts. It always feels like I'm choking.
Oh, see, I love hoodies. Hoodies and air conditioning.
First thing I do with
Without
a hoodie is cut the hood off.
Although indoor plumbing probably should be on there too.
Toilet paper?
So what do you got? What are 2 things that like, oh my God, thank you for that? What is it?
Toilet paper?
Toilet paper. That makes perfect sense. What else you got?
The ability to preserve food.
Oh, rather than having it go shit south real quick. That makes sense. Oh, guitar hack, electricity. True Tech is right there too.
Fleshlights?
Fucking crowbar. Fantastic. You're back, brother. You're back. I'm with you on that, Phil. I prefer the zip downs rather than the pullovers. But hoodies, air conditioning, indoor plumbing, electricity, these are fantastic. What else you got, people? Dan of New Jersey, heat and air conditioning. You're my man.
Quentin James, pedal tuner and AC.
Todd Flowers, wet ones and cheesy poops. Well done. Coffee and water and fire. Nothing else really matters. That's an interesting stance. Not too far off.
Will Rella, air conditioning and G strings.
Can't have one without the other. Cars, okay.
Baby pigs and fire. Makeup and coffee makers. Okay.
Anything other than AOL. Man, I can remember AOL dial-up. That sucked. Yeah.
Marsman says weed and chocolate. 2 quality things. Yep. Mountain Dew and internet porn.
Ryan Landreth, you just summed up most of America's college years.
Floyd Rose and boobies. I like it.
Oh, boobies. I didn't think of that one. Boobs are cool. Maybe not the shit that comes out of the area located above them, but you know what I mean.
Tube amps. Okay, sure.
I do like tube amps. People are lighting good things now. I think he meant writing. Yeah, now we're on the flip to that thrash. We're going off of 2 things that we absolutely are so happy with.
Quentin James, red tube and tube socks. Anyone even say guitar? Well, you just did, Crowbar.
Oh, hush now. Ha ha ha. That's true, Amanda. I'm sorry.
All right. How about your one of your favorite sounds in the world?
Sounds?
Sound.
Wow.
Something like when you hear a specific sound, it puts a smile on your face.
Farts.
Okay.
Fart noises are hilarious. I mean, I could literally just listen to different pitches of farts and laugh all day.
So I will say a baby laughing uncontrollably. Yeah, like a baby with giggles.
Babies laughing is great, but like I watch that video of that cat, that fat cat that farts all the time. It makes me laugh every time I'm having a bad day.
Gibson through a Marshall, Les Paul through a Marshall, P90s. Okay. The sound of coffee brewing. The noise from the original flubber. Sound of a radial aircraft engine. Okay. Thunder. Someone falling back in a chair.
See, now that's hilarious, but that's more of a visual than a sound.
Waterfall. Yeah, I like that, Dwight. Dwight!
Oh, yeah,
that's who I forgot to give a shout out to earlier. I missed you earlier, buddy. Pedals turning on and off, that nice click. Air brakes.
Sound of silences. In the actual silence, yes. Not the bad record that was by, I don't know, who's the band that does the didn't they have a fucking record called The Sound of Silence?
Yeah, Disturbed.
Yeah, I don't want that, no. If he's talking about actual quiet, I'm with him.
Bacon cooking, nice. The sound of the word yes. Interesting. Rainfall. Sure.
Jimmy Biter, the back half of that, that's dirty, bro.
Jesus. Okay, I'm not reading that one. I'll allow it, but I'm not reading it. Well, I don't have a sound I prefer but my ex-wife's face when the alimony payment's finished. Yay! Hey, Mark Dillon. Door shutting when my girl goes to sleep.
Gasco says the door shutting when his girl goes to sleep.
Yeah, Harley Panhead, Harley idling. I saw the exhaust of a Ferrari. Okay, got a lot of cool stuffs here. First note played on Shiny You Crazy Diamond. Yeah. Somebody mentioned the opening chord of Won't Get Fooled Again, the Dogpa.
Phil Mosley, I would have thought so. We're too similar for you to have brought Disturbed into this conversation in a positive light.
I used to have to cover them, and even I made fun of it. I was like, okay, we play through this chord progression 4 times, then you come in with the monkey noises.
That's so bad. I know the guy that was the singer for Disturbed before they became Disturbed. Bad news. But they're rich and we're not, so who's the fucking winner there?
The guy in the armored truck saying, where do you want us to put all this money?
That is
How
a
about
great
your
sound.
check is
It
cleared?
was never my house. All right, so now...
Yeah, if I was going to reference Sound of Silence, I would definitely go with the Simon and Garfunkel version. That's for sure.
Yeah. So now, let me think. Okay, more important to you, Ben. Air or no, let's take air out of it because you need air to live. Let's say more important to you, food or drink?
Food, because I can still get moisture, water content through food.
That was really well thought out, man. I was going to say food because them hunger pains, they be real, man. Fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you had something that's really, like, let's say an orange, for instance. If you're thirsty, you can eat an orange and you're going to quench some of that thirst. You can't quench hunger with just liquid.
Yes, Quentin, we know you need both to live, but if I'm telling your fucking ass you only get one, which one are you picking? And we're all saying food so far.
Jack Daniels says bourbon.
Well, that's not a terrible decision.
Watermelon is food? Exactly. I think the dog post's still doing stuff you like to hear. Sizes and everything, honey.
Dogpa, I've never heard that, but I can imagine how that would make you feel happy. Milkaholic, you can make dairy products and live on that.
Fun fact, Aaron has a God complex. Fuck. You mean that in a good way, right?
Amanda, I don't have a God complex. I have an ex-wife who told me I'm only good for two things in this world, fucking and fighting. So I'll go with that since it's actually in court documentation.
Oh, somebody mentioned biscuits. I'm looking forward to biscuits when I travel to the U.S. Phil Mosley, what would you do, food or drink if you could only have one?
Yeah, you can either have food or drink. Air biscuits.
Grits are good, but they don't have those in Canada. Yeah, we don't really have grits.
I don't think I've ever actually eaten grits.
Oh, I have a grits recipe, dude. Yeah, I know, coming from a Canadian. But grits with small shrimp and Italian sausage. It's flipping unreal.
I could eat that. She meant fucking fighting, not the other. Well, Will, the way things ended up, that might be accurate.
We have cream of wheat. It's a fraud. Yeah, it's not even close.
Amanda thinks our question was too easy. We need to come up with a new one. Ben, it's your turn. What you got?
Oh, the dog post said water if I want to hang on, moonshine if I don't. Let's see here. How about we'll bring it back to the community here. If you could only play one style guitar, because a lot of us have multiples, what one guitar would you play?
Did you say pedal and guitar or just guitar?
Just a guitar.
Okay.
Like if it could be nothing but Les Pauls. It could be nothing but,
If I could only play one guitar for the rest of my life, God, I've had such a thing over the last 2 years for Tele shapes, but I love P90s. You know what? It might be my Chapman MO3 semi-hollow that I'm in the midst of paying off because it is a Tele shape semi-hollow, but it's P90. So I'll say that. Although a Novo could just as well have been my answer.
You got Les Paul, Strat, Super Strat, Count Chocula. I think Phil's on delay here. One that has strings. Ibanez Radius, Tele Strat, Tele Deluxe, Les Paul. My custom 79 Peter Max Baronet. Very cool. A Junior. Nice. 66 SG Junior. Super Strat.
Ooh, 66 SG Junior Marsman. You must bring that when you meet.
Super Strat Floyd with HSH. Nice. Strat or an LTD Les Paul shape. Okay. Half Super Strat. Okay. Explorer, nice. Okay. I will go same pretty much as you, Aaron, except I'm losing the F hole and it doesn't have a reversed headstock. I'll just go with my signature guitar. And not just promote it, but it's a P90 with a telly shape. I'd play a telly shaped guitar.
They're very comfortable.
Yeah. Also my Mexican telly with the coil tab dual humbucker. I love that. Will says a 64 Strat. Oh, dang. Pre-CBS Strat. Yeah. All right. See you, Pooh. Nashville telly. Nice. Yeah, Nashville telly would be a good idea because then you got the telly neck, a Strat in the middle, and a humbucker in the bridge.
The crazy thing is they made those Chinese versions of those, the Fenders, and they're fucking good, man. The pickups are garbage, but the actual
the modern player?
Yeah, the modern players.
Not a fan.
I'd get rid of the pickups, but man, the actual guitar and neck it's great.
First thing I'd do is replace the frets.
Well, the first thing I would do is get rid of that humbucker because that humbucker is not fooling anybody. But then
but
the frets.
I owned one. 10 hours of playing. 2 frets were lifting and serious fret munch on the others.
Wow.
Like it looked like a 5-year-old guitar. And then because I got the burst one, it was discontinued. Then when it was sent to a Fender dealer or a Fender guy to repair it under warranty, and I was so excited. I'm like, yes, a professional setup on a guitar. The guy dropped it during the repair, and it was only because I couldn't find the output jack. When I flipped it over, it was dropped right at the output jack.
Sounds like an abortion from the start, bro.
But Fender stepped up because that thing retailed for just under 500 Canadian before tax, okay? You couldn't get that model anymore except for the transparent black one, which I thought was hideous. I wanted the burst. Fender couldn't locate another one for me, so they told Sean, who owns Ardens, give him any Mexican telly he wants.
So how you got the double humbucker?
I grabbed the double humbucker that retailed for just over 800 Canadian. So, they basically cost. They just gave me.
Flowers says he's got one of the Nashville setup modern player tellies.
Okay. Todd's is different then because he's got a mini humbucker. Mine never had a mini humbucker.
Yeah, the ones that we sold didn't have the minis either. They had the full-on humbucker, and it was a garbage humbucker. Like the necks and stuff, I never had any fret issues. The necks were great. The humbucker just was garbage.
I got through, I think, 2 rehearsals and 1 gig with it. And I had to stop playing it during the gig because I couldn't figure what was up. And I'm like, Richie, what's up with this guitar? And he looked at it. He goes, dude, you have frets lifting out of it. And ironically enough, he was playing a modern player Strat, an HSH modern player Strat that I traded to him for this head. And it fell apart on him during the same gig. One of the pickups fell down inside the guitar while he was playing.
That gig had a hex on it.
No kidding.
How cool is it that we all have these friends that live in all corners of this amazing rare planet we all get to live on? Exactly, Brian Stewart. That's more or less the theme of what makes this so fucking amazing.
Well, I agree, Brian Landreth. All right, see you, Brad Miller. Hope to be shipping you something this week. Yes. Brad Miller is making some telly plates for me, Aaron, if you didn't know that already.
Who's doing that?
Brad Miller.
I did not know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's doing some telly plates so I can install Tesi Switch in my telly.
That's awesome.
Which should be on its way too. Zach likes the Taylor 814 CE. Nice.
All right, chat. How about you guys post some questions and we'll pick whichever we think is the most enticing for a community chat. See what y'all creative fucks come up with.
Yeah, I figure we'll go another half hour, go to the top of the hour, and then we'll call it.
Works for me.
Marsman just put a Tesi Switch in a Strat. Awesome. Ooh, There's a true Canadian question. What is your favorite song from Max Webster?
I don't even know who the fuck Max Webster is, so I'm totally not Canadian.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like in Canada, our radio stations are required to play 30% Canadian music. So you can have an iconic career, playing in hockey arenas every night and still be unknown outside of Canada. Bam Ozzy and I were talking about that earlier today. That's a good question. High Class and Borrowed Shoes was good.
What was the question?
Favorite Max Webster song. So I'll go with High Class and Borrowed Shoes or Battle Scar, because Battle Scar is Max Webster and Rush playing the song at the same time. That's true, Will. He says, only been watching YouTube for the last 5 years. If it wasn't for the Tone Kings channel, we would have never met. Small world, dude. Exactly.
Talk about a great dude. Like, I've never really talked to Lewis, but I've followed him for years now. And he just, liked to comment or responded to something I wrote recently. But you want to talk about a nice guy, a genuine fucking enthusiast for, music and guitars. I mean, what a great guy.
I believe Atlanta Loves Me was actually a solo song. I don't think that was actually a Max Webster song. I could be wrong, though.
Quentin James, Carpet.
Depends on what mood I'm in. Like my favorite music. Lewis is super nice.
Favorite superhero, The Flash. Fucker can run back in time and fix all my fuck-ups. I'd do that.
I'm not sure. I don't know if I have a favorite superhero anymore. I have to give that some thought.
Although, if you told me what power could I have, I would take Professor X, where you could mind control people and broadcast your thoughts, because I would totally go to the bank and be like, I need $20 and you will hand me the stack of 20. So on camera, it looks like you handed me 20. Thank you.
Oh, it's
Sorry,
true.
Amanda. I know you work at the bank.
Amanda, yeah, but that could have been a mislabeled song to begin with. Let's look it up. All right, True Tech saying it's a Mitchell song.
2 strings, give me 5 songs. Anything off of Nevermind. Could pull that off with 2 strings. Just play the power chords without the third.
It is, in fact, a Kim Mitchell song. I was right. Along with True Tech. Whatever happened to Alana Miles? Wasn't she Canadian? Yep. She was over-promoted. She had far much more of a career, I think, than her talent warranted, in my opinion.
Quentin's talking about shaved vaginas or bushes. So I take back the carpet stance. Floors.
Well, I knew what he was talking about.
I didn't. I clearly missed it.
Greatest American Hero. Good one, yeah. Oh my God. Black Velvet was played so much in this damn country. Oh my God. Question for Aaron. Kate Upton or Kat Dennings? Wasn't Kate Upton she's got a couple screws loose? So
she's asking that question because I recently showed her the best 3 days of my life, which was when Kat Dennings, Kate Upton, and Jennifer Lawrence's nude photos got hacked and posted online. My answer will be Kat Dennings. Although Kate Upton is 1A. Thank you.
Crowbar says screws loose is fine. Yeah, dude, it gets tiring after a while, believe me. And apparently Black Velvet was played a lot in Rhode Island, too.
Bill Mosley, don't take it personally. He thought I was Canadian.
You should wish. Just scrolling back. What did I miss? I see Brian referencing a bunch of Australian bands to a British guy. Oh, I see. Okay. Aren't 70% of your best-selling artists Canadian anyways? Oh, yeah. We've imported a few musicians and actors down there over the years.
Ben, any amount of money that you want or any woman that you want?
Woman.
I'm taking the money. But yeah, you know, that's me.
Yeah, but I'm taking the woman that has the money.
Smart. You picked the woman that has the money. Well thought out, sir. Because if you pick someone like Jennifer Lawrence, you know, she was only making 50 mil a year. You'd be in rough standing there.
I don't know. I've had a crush on Sheryl Crow for the better part of 30 years. I just be her tech as well, you know.
Hey, how does Canada feel about Celine Dion? Love her or hate her?
Not a fan. I think, you know,
America, we pretty much hate her.
Yeah. There's a reason
I would tap that.
We are south of the border.
Mark Taylor would make her feel like a woman. Way to go.
From Northern Ontario.
Quentin says money because then he could buy the women. That's pretty accurate. But remember, her love don't cost a thing, Quentin.
I don't think so, Thresh. She's been married to a few different guys over the years. She was with Kid Rock and Lyle Lovett. Women come and go, money accrues. True. Shania was born in Windsor, yeah, and then moved up to like Cochrane or something, way the hell up north. And when I say way the hell up north, we're talking you're driving like 15 hours straight north and you're still in Ontario.
Will Varela might have just dropped some knowledge on all of us.
Yep. Yeah, one usually takes the other, right?
Yeah, that dude knows his shit, man.
That guy. That's a good question. Zach Thong, favorite Chilliwack song? Probably their biggest hit, My Girl. That was a huge hit. Great song. Great band. They broke a bit in the US, but it didn't really hold on.
Ben, if you could open for any band living, let's say living to make it easier, any act living, what band would it be?
The Stones.
The Stones?
Yeah.
I would open for, I have a huge toss-up between Foo Fighters, Dinosaur Jr., or Melvins. Based on the size of the crowd, I'll say the Foo Fighters.
Right. That was part of it. Size of the crowd and the fact what I would play would probably fit in well with the Stones as an opening act.
That's true.
What you're going to do is a great song, Mark Dillon. I was thinking about that too. And Fly at Night, yeah. Arms of Mary. God, all the Canucks are talking now. Jim spends a fair amount of time in Canada. The singer of one of my bands used to work for Jim Carrey. He was one of his groundskeepers. He's got a place about an hour north of here. Big ass place.
Crowbar would open for Zappa. I totally did not see that coming. That's what she said.
All right. I'm just wondering what's up here. Somebody got timed out. And I can't undo it. Sorry, Phil Mosley Music.
Man, he pissed Amanda off, huh? Oh, no.
But I think her finger slipped.
When Phil comes back, Amanda's going to have to give a truly apologetic, sincere, I'm sorry. She dropped her phone and in the process blocked our guy Phil from across the ocean. What'd she block? What the fuck? 300 seconds? What is that? That's a
timeout.
5 minutes?
Like 5-minute major in hockey, right? Go sit in the box for 5 minutes. So, Phil, we do love you. So, just hang in there. There's nothing... We had my mom timed out in the chat once. Amanda killed Phil. Oh my God! Killed Kenny!
I can see it. I can see the hashtags now. Free Phil.
Justice for Phil. Yeah, Phil's in the penalty box, unfortunately.
I don't think they play Canada in the UK, bro. Or Canada. I don't think they play hockey in the UK, bro.
Yeah, they do.
Do they? I know
yeah,
they play soccer. So what would he get? A red card?
No, he just got a yellow. He's just got a warning. He wasn't completely banned.
So a yellow card. Got it.
5 minutes for high sticking, 5 for fighting. Which I didn't realize. I used to listen to 5 for fighting, and I totally forgot that Pete Thorne was the guitar player in the band.
No fucking way. I liked a couple of their songs.
I know. They play cricket or some shit from Quentin.
God, I love Quentin James. That's why we're stopping to see you in Louisville, you pantless, crazy old shit.
Sister repeatedly apologizing.
I had to take a leak. I'll be right back.
You do that. Yeah, I did sound more like Mr. Bill Thrash. You got me on that one. Brian McLeod was a pretty good guitar player. Yep. My wife's company sponsors the Blue Jackets penalty box. Nice. Yes, that's right, Terry. He was born in the UK. Yeah, we're still live, Mayhem. For a few more minutes. That's right, Zach. Favorite sports movie? Possibly Slapshot. Major League. I like Major League too. That was a good movie. My sister accidentally timed out Phil Mosley, Mayhem. Putting on the foil. That's right. Yeah, Slapshot or Major League. Old-time hockey. That's right. Eddie. Or that was Gordie Howe, right? Have to stay long enough to save Phil. That's right. I think he's got 2 more minutes. Tin Cup. Interesting. Chariots of Fire. Okay. Bad News Bears.
What I meant.
Oh, we're talking a favorite sports movie. I said Slapshot or Major League.
Mine would be Blades of Glory with Will Ferrell.
Okay.
Movie's ridiculous.
Happy Gilmore. Nice.
That's a good pick.
Movies. The original Longest Yard. Yeah, that was good. That was a good movie. I'll say.
Those Major League movies were pretty damn funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I rewatched them all last year, I think.
Like the second one was actually funnier than the first one, but the first one was a better movie.
Yeah. Good Will Hunting. Is there any sports in Good Will Hunting? Or The Jerk? Dodgeball. Okay.
Oh, Dodgeball is a great pick.
Will. Ooh, best music movies? It's a toss-up. The Blues Brothers and Spinal Tap.
Wow, best music movies. Okay. If we're counting documentaries, then I will say the Melvins Colossus of Destiny movie that came out like 2 years ago.
I didn't know if we were including documentaries. Well, then I'll still stick with Spinal Tap.
Although, if we're not, I was going to say, if no docs, then Spinal Tap easily.
Crossroads, good movie. Yeah, The Blues Brothers, I probably watched that movie, 200 times. Like, I would still want to play in a rhythm and blues band. Hardcore logo, Canadian content, yeah. Phil says, I am back from the wilderness. Yay!
Phil, it was an accident. She dropped her phone, and her phone hated you, not her.
Yeah, as far as music docs, my God, there's so many. Forget, there's hundreds I've seen, so I couldn't really. There was another one. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. British movie.
Hi, Stephanie. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe.
See you, Stephanie. Hail, hail, rock and roll. Yeah, that was a good one. With Chuck Berry telling Keith Richards, "You're fucking playing it wrong. I'm playing it the way you fucking wrote it."
Amanda says if it makes you feel better, you might not want to hear this part, Ben.
I just saw that. I can't unsee that.
Sorry, bro.
The Last Waltz. Oh, yeah, that would be more of a concert film as much as anything else. But great. Well, that was such a great concert. My God. "56 still watching." Wow. At midnight, almost. It's crazy.
I want to give one of these to everybody that's hung around here for what is approaching 4 hours and a relaunch of the live stream. So
Yeah.
Hats off to you guys.
And a special shout out to Phil Mosley and anyone else that's watching from the UK, because we're pushing 5 a.m. for them.
Yeah, that's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Ooh, I do love Pantera. Pantera is probably the first and only metal band that I ever gave a shit about.
The Commitments, that was a good movie. I'm trying to think. Still Crazy, I think it's called. Still Crazy. It's a British film about, like an old band that broke up and gets reformed. That was I really enjoyed that movie. Some great music. Almost Famous. Great music-based movie. Some great music in it.
Dude, you just gave me an idea. What's that one with Tom Hanks? That movie was great. That Thing You Do.
Yes. Yeah, okay, Marsman, sounds good. I look forward to meeting you as well.
All right, brother, love you. But yeah, dude, That Thing You Do, that movie is fantastic.
Yeah. The funny thing, like Dogpa mentioned Spinal Tap. See, I didn't get the first time I saw Spinal Tap, I might have been 10 or 11 years old, right? So you're not going to get every joke. Sort of like watching Looney Tunes where they insert jokes just for the adults. The fact I knew it was a good movie because my dad was like in tears because he's just like, it's so true. Like so many things was so true. And you're like, no, this can't be real. This can't be real. And it's like, oh, it's so true.
Well, see, now that's what I liked about That Thing You Do is, it's the story of, and it was such a story back in the day, the one-hit wonder, you know what I mean? Where you get in, you write this hit song, you blow up, and then your front man doesn't like the record deal and how everything's going. And next thing you know, you go from top of the world to bottom of the pile in a blink of an eye.
Let's see here. My sister's got to go. CSS, love you. I'll text you later in the week.
Bye, Amanda. I'll miss you.
Quentin James is just here to have some of JJ's House of Jams coolness rub off on him.
Is JJ still in here? I haven't seen that cool son of a...
Yeah, he's doing some work while he's listening. I've seen him chime in a couple of times. There he is.
There he is.
Frickin' Quentin James, love you, man.
JJ's one like suave motherfucker, you know what I mean? He just...
he's cool. He
cool. Just admits coolness.
Yeah, that's why, we got to get you out to Winter NAMM, right?
Yeah, dude. Anaheim with you and JJ, that'll be ridiculous.
Yeah, and possibly a side trip post NAMM.
Yeah.
I'll mention that off air. So.
The Oneaters, there it is. I love it.
Rockstar I enjoyed Rockstar. It was funny. I remember watching Rockstar with my girlfriend at the time. She's like, "Oh, you'll like it. It's about rock bands." But, sort of like sports movies. If you're a football player, you see all the flaws in a football movie, So when we watch a rock band movie, we're going to see all the flaws. And I had no idea what it was. And So start watching it. It was like the first concert or whatever. You know, within 2 seconds, I'm like, okay, I'm in. She's like, why? I'm like, well, that's Zach Wilde playing guitar. She's like, how can you tell? Because it's like a wide angle shot from the cheap seats at some big, concert. I'm like, I know his tone anywhere.
The mini Stonehenge part might be the funniest part of that damn movie.
Or the pods.
And the argument that happens after it about why it didn't work. Oh my God.
Apparently the dog pod downloaded gigs of porn while watching. Okay.
Well, dog pod, just remember, you can go blind and you certainly will chafe. Take a break.
Yeah. Okay, FYI, first time trying my Pure Sky pedal. Damn, it's good. All right, we're looking forward to the review, Hack. We need a video. Yeah, exactly, Phil. Bradshaw says Zach has a certain way that he moves. You can recognize it from a distance. It was the head, but it was the first pinch harmonic he did. Because nobody does pinch harmonics like Zach.
Thrash metal. Well, you're not exactly lone. That would be an Airheads reference.
There you go. When they couldn't find their way to the stage and got lost. Yeah, that was a great part too, Mark.
Yes, Brian Stewart. That is hilarious.
I've got lost going to a venue, but not to a stage. I've never played any place big enough where I could get lost between dressing room and stage. Hell, I can probably count on one hand the amount of gigs I ever played where I had a dressing room.
I played Congress Theater, and it's a big place like that. But the shot from backstage to where you actually play it's fairly straight. Like, to get lost on that, you have to be remedial at best.
Oh, that's right. Rob 212's got some new gear coming on Wednesday. Nice. But these go to 11, yeah. Everyone remembers that famous scene, of Nigel showing off his guitar collection. It was actually, all that stuff was Norm's Rare Guitars that supplied all that gear.
Big Bottom, that is a funny-ass song, Will.
2 bass, 1 guitar.
I'll tell you what, you know what I didn't hate? I mean, it was pretty ridiculous. Let's get established that. But I didn't hate the dirt.
See you, Quentin James. I still haven't got around to watching it yet. I got it saved on my computer.
I was gonna say if you don't have it, I have Netflix, but we can watch it. But I mean, it's the party ridiculous scenes are party ridiculous, like really funny, and then the parts that are actually kind of like yawn are the like Nicky and his heroin addict area, like that super dramatized, super like overdone slow motion type shit, you know what I mean? But when they're being idiots and just being drunk and doing stupid shit and banging chicks, like that stuff's pretty funny.
There is a great line. Oh, we've got a bigger dressing room than the puppets. That's refreshing.
The Dirt was pretty good.
You watch movies like The Dirt, you got to take some of it with a grain of salt because some of it's for theatrical reasons. And if you've read the books too, you kind of know what's up. Or you've been a lifelong fan, you knew a lot of that stuff already. Like, hell, I've been listening to Motley Crue since 1984, so...
The Squirt Crowbar, yes. The opening scene, like, they had me as soon as that opening scene. Ben, you will see it, so you'll know. But basically, They had that shitty old apartment, and right in the middle of it, some chick just hikes up her skirt, and Tommy Lee goes down on her, and she shoots all over the fucking apartment in front of everyone.
A book is always better than the movie, Mark Taylor. It's one of the reasons why I read.
Totally true.
Favorite rock biography?
Ooh,
that's a good one.
I've got a book. Okay, so I've got a book that blew my mind. If any of you guys know of the punk band Against Me,
Yep.
their lead singer was a dude and then had gender dysphoria and made the transition to being a female, Laura Jane Grace, probably, I don't know, 3-4 years ago now.
Yep.
Well, she came out with a book called Tranny, and that book was mesmerizing because it literally was reading the diaries from when the young boy, the parents would go out of the house and the young boy would put on the mom's stockings and shit. And it's like when you were reading it, it felt like, oh my God, I shouldn't be reading this. It was so brutally honest. It was an incredible book. And by the end of it, you couldn't help but feel like, man, just do you, whatever makes you happy.
You know what? Most surprising or good biography was actually Kenny Rogers. He was involved in shit you never even remembered. It was great. Yeah, Keith Richards' book was good. Willie Nelson's book was awesome too. Romeo Delight asks, favorite Motley Crue album? I would probably say their first album.
I'm actually reading Rex Brown's biography for Pantera right now.
Nice. Awesome. All right. Well, I think we're about ready to wrap up here.
I think so.
Do you have anything to add, good sir?
All I have to say is this NAMM trip and the coverage is going to be an awesome time, and obviously Ben and I want to take you guys along with us. So just remember, A plus B equals see you there.
That's right.
See what I did there?
Yes.
We'll hashtag that.
Yes, because I forgot about that. So yes, Aaron plus Ben equals see you there.
Yeah, it's gonna be badass.
Just stopped in to see what condition my condition was in is an indication. Yes. Love it. So I thank each and every one of you for tuning in. Those new folks that subscribe, that's awesome. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for all the thumbs ups and the interactions. Thanks for the great questions tonight, folks, and the interaction with, myself, Aaron. Let's thank Rob Johnson as well. He was on earlier. Dave Nesdall. Jeez, we did a whole second show after they left. Crazy.
Yeah, Ben, 46 still watching, 69 thumbs up.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, folks. Appreciate it. So, yeah, definitely, stay informed. Ring that bell because we could be going live at random times. And, yeah, check it out tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, Canucks with Guitars, special Canada Day show, which I don't know what's going to make it any different. Hey, there's Jamal. Hey, Jamal. And 8 Kiesel fans.
Hit on the head. Your 8 thumbs down were the 8 Kiesel fans.
Yep. Except for Brian Stewart. We know he has a Kiesel. He likes it. He gets an exception. So, to the rest of you, have a great night. Be well. As I always say, hold those doors open. Let that guy in ahead of you in traffic. Do good things, and good things will happen to you because karma is real. Thanks all again for tuning in, and we'll see you all tomorrow night. Cheers.